Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 1, Such as Sit in Darkness. A story set on the Yorkshire moors in which our hero first encounters the powers of evil.
Police house, Scarp End? Oh, yes. I see. Well, the constable's out at the moment. It's not very likely. He could be anywhere on the moors. If I were you, Mr. Brooks, I'd drop it into the station in town next time you're there. Yes. Yes, all right. Goodbye.
This was a fair sample of Tang Tao Din. I didn't want any more. I began to wonder how I was going to survive my first year in the wilderness. I'd already had enough.
You should try Scarp End, love. Da-da-dee-dee-dee-da-da. Ah, sounds like my lord on his charger.
Oh, I'd soon have enough of this blasted fresh air. Oh, what the hell is it?
Well, don't wreck the place. Tell me what it is you're looking for and I'll tell you where it is.
Don't tell me how to find things. I've been on a CID course. Have you seen the cream? I think my lips are getting chapped. What's so funny?
Oh, Jamie, country bobbies aren't supposed to get chapped lips. They've got faces like leather.
It's that damn bike.
But it's the middle of summer.
Not on that damn bike, it's not. Well, where is it then?
In the top drawer. No, the cabinet.
Hey, any mail yet?
Not yet.
God, we'd do better by carrier pigeon.
Oh, poor soul, she must cycle 20 miles a day up and down these hills. I bet she's not got chapped lips, though.
All right, smarty. Wait, listen. I know what I had to tell you. You'll never believe it. I didn't at first, and I saw it. I mean, I've always thought it was a bit medieval around these parts. I mean, you know, you walk up this door and you leave the 20th century behind. Well, I was on the Clayton Road, right on the moor top, on my way home. Well, I just come round the bend past Geary's place, and there, calm as you like, sitting on what was left of the dry stone wall at the side of the road, well, you'll never believe it.
Oh, come on, Jamie, for crying out loud. What?
A monk.
A what?
A monk. Well, a friar, I suppose, really. Anyway, there he was, black cloak, hood, beads, the lot. I nearly died. Honestly, I nearly fell off the bike. I couldn't take my eyes off him. I kept waiting for him to disappear in a puff of smoke.
Oh, really, Jamie?
Oh, yes, Miss Clever. It's all very well in your own kitchen, but you get out there on those moors and see a silhouette like that against a lowering, gloomy sky.
Oh, was that the mail?
Huh? Oh, it sounds like the local suffragette. He was quite cheery, really. Gave me a grin and a matey wave. Hell of a size. He must have been 9 foot tall.
I think Mrs. Bullock's permanently injured your faculties.
Well, all right then, 6'4". Let's see now. Another swine fever order. Aye. You'd better paper that back bedroom. Inspector's visit next month.
I will not. If he thinks he can do any better against this damp, he can damn well have a go. What's that one?
Oh, no idea. Postmarked Debden. Well, it's not official. Well, who do we know in Debden that's not official?
Open it and find out.
You're a very logical woman. I suppose that's why I put up with you, despite all the cardboard.
Oh.
Let's see. Morning and mass. Hey, you turning Catholic by any chance?
What are you talking about?
Well, listen. This morning, a mass was offered for the repose of the soul of Walter Spittlehouse, deceased of this parish. At 3 p.m. tomorrow, a short ceremony of remembrance will take place at the cottage Deep Dyke. May the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Signed, Michael Probert, O.P.
Oh, it must have been wrongly addressed.
Oh, no, they occupy a police house, Scarp End.
Do we know a Spittle House deceased? What was the name, Walter?
I'm sure I don't. Well, I wouldn't forget a name like that.
Who's died recently? Nobody. They live forever round here.
I've seen the electors' list often enough. There's no Spittle House in that. What about that address? Cottage Deep Dyke. Well, that's the valley bottom below the Traveller's Rest. There's no cottage round there, not for miles. I mean, it's all scrub and woodland. Hey, except that, well, there's that old cart shed affair falling to pieces. Spittle House. Hey, is there any more tea?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Probert, O.P. Yeah, it might be in the dictionary. Let's have a look. Here we are. Oh, let's see now, abbreviations. O. Here we are. O.P. Order of Preachers. Brackets, Dominicans. Well, that's it then. Hey! 10 to 1 they wear a black habit and even money. Yon lofty great friar was one Michael Probert, O.P. But why? I mean, what's going on?
Here, drink your tea. Well, perhaps it's some kind of leg pull.
Well, I don't think members of religious orders go about making jokes over masses for the dead. No, there must be a reason. It's just that at the moment there's a link missing. Unless... Here, hang on.
What are you up to now?
Shh. See, Oh, hello, Sergeant. Hewitt here, North Pole. How's crime in civilization? What? Yeah, about the same. Very intimate with cattle and pigs. No news about my transfer yet, is there? No, there wouldn't be. Hey, listen, Sarge. Does the name Spittle House register with you, Walter deceased? I don't know how long. We're going back a bit, maybe 10, 12 years. Yeah, wasn't there some old gaffer foully done to death up here? Yeah. Well, his name was Walt, wasn't it? But it wasn't Spittle House. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's before your time, and mine, thank God. Couldn't bear to have been here that long. Yeah, that's right. Hedger? Walt Hedger. What? Well, was it Hedger, or was that just because of his trade? Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, I see, right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, see if you can root out the book, Sarge. Well, I'll have a look in later on. Will you be in? Right. No, just curiosity, really. It makes a change. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. Elementary, my dear Pamela. Old Walt, my dear. Old Walt Hedger. Born Spittle House, my darling. Born Walter Spittle House. Dead by person or persons unknown. Down in the forest, something stirs.
Oh, well, I wish I had your touch with this damn thing. It wasn't my idea posting you to that outside beat.
You can stop your flannel, Sarge. I'm not going to type it for you.
You know, it's making an hard man of you, Jamie, them Moors.
Yeah, so despite these first reports, there was really never any mystery about the old man's murder.
Not according to Harry Bassett. Not for long, anyway.
Well, he was identified pretty quick, considering his head was missing.
Oh, nothing to it. I mean, he'd been inside a few times, poaching, vagrancy. His dabs were on file. The theory was he didn't take the head to prevent identification, more likely to hide the mode of death.
It's a bit determined, you know, carving the poor devil's head off.
Well, not if he thought the wound in it was bound to point to who did it, like being shot in the head at close range from another poacher's gun. Messy wound, but one that would tell quite a story. Type of gun, size of shot. Could have narrowed things down a bit too close for comfort. Harry says they were pretty certain who'd done it. I mean, why kill an old recluse like that? Who'd want to, except another poacher in the heat of an argument about snares or a ferret or more likely still rights to a piece of ground? No. John Willie Sanderson was strongly fancied. Rabbit Sanderson. He's still up your way. Still up to his old tricks, they tell me. Poaching, I mean, not murder. That wasn't really in his line.
Yeah, I've seen him, little fella. He looks just like that terrier of his.
Oh, that's him. Apparently they gave him a right going over, but he wouldn't budge. Wouldn't say a word. He got no alibi, of course. At that time of night, he'd be out poaching. He'd been known to fall wrong of old Walt odd times before. Anyway, he wouldn't cuffs, and there was no evidence.
And they never found the head?
No. Not surprising, I mean, not out there. You see, it was almost open and shut. Except they couldn't quite shut it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't look so disappointed. It's passed the money for you nicely. And it's brought you down here just in time to give me an hand with this clerical.
Well, you've not left much mystery in that. I wonder why this bloke's raking it up again. Would the old man be Catholic, do you think?
No, I shouldn't have thought so, not round here. I suppose he must have been, else why is this friar of yours offering masses for him?
Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, well, so much for the busman's holiday. Ah, come on, then. Move over. Well, what are you copying up, then? This? Hey, you're a messy paper man.
Oh, it seems a long trek for someone who's decided that the whole case is open and shut.
Well, that was before you told me he'd sent those Mass for the Dead cards to every house in the village. It appears that Father Michael Probert, O.P., doesn't think it's open and shut.
I don't know why you couldn't visit this place in the daylight, then.
And let the whole world know I'm interested. You know how much they miss round here. No, it's better this way. And a man taking his dog and his wife for a walk.
In that order, I notice. Oh, damn. That's a pair of nylons you owe me.
Well, look where you're going, Townie. The moon's bright enough. Hey, come on, lass. Come on. Come here. I'll put her on the lead now, I think. Well, it can't be much further. I don't necessarily want to announce our arrival. Quiet, girl, quiet. What's the matter with the dog?
I'll tell you what's the matter with the dog. She's damn well scared stiff like me.
Oh, no, come on. Now, come on, both of you. Now, come on.
Look at her. She's terrified. Oh, what's the matter, pet? Oh, feel her. She's shivering. The hair's standing all down her back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, all right. Well, look, she can stay here with you, and I'll go and have a quick look.
Oh, no, you don't. If you think I'm going to stay...
It's only just down there.
I don't care. You're not leaving me alone for 1 second.
OK, look, she'll have to stay here then while we both go on. I'll tie her to this.
Do you think she'll be all right?
Well, why not? She's obviously happier here than going any further. Right. Well, that should hold her.
Oh, poor old thing. Shan't be long, darling. Cheer up.
Well, come on, then. And keep quiet. Shh. Now, stay there, girl. Stay there. Come on.
Hee-ho.
Oh.
I do hope she's settled down.
Oh, she'll be all right. Hey, look. Look, down there. Look, you can just make out the roof, what's left of it. And the chimney, see?
I think so.
Well, let's move across there. You'll see it better. Here, watch where you tread. It looks pretty quiet.
Good. All right, you've seen it. Let's go.
Well, hang on a minute. I mean, damn it all. Let's have a look inside.
Oh, Lord.
Well, there's just that piece of open ground across if anybody's watching. Now, look, I'll go first.
Oh, Jamie.
I'll make sure it's all quiet and then signal you. I'll wave a hanky, OK? Now, watch the way I go and you do the same. Keep yourself between the house and the trees. And watch your footing. Don't run blindly. It'll be a hell of a way to cart you back with a twisted ankle. I'll see you.
Be careful, Jamie. Oh, come on, Jamie. Best foot forward. Where are you, Jamie? I bet he's forgotten I'm here. Wherever you are, Walter Spittlehouse, I hope you rest in peace tonight, body and head. That darling dog's the only one of us with any sense. Oof. Wonder if he's got a clean handkerchief. Ah, here we go.
Good girl. Lovely. It's all clear. Come on.
Have you been inside?
No, not yet. It seems all quiet. The door's partly open. We can easily get in.
You sure there's no one in there?
Of course not. Just shift this door a bit more. There. Oh, come on.
Right. What was it?
A partridge, I think. Well, I must use these beams. The roof's wide open there, look. Anyway, now we're certain it's all clear or the bird wouldn't have been here.
Did he really used to live here?
Well, apparently. It's a bit deteriorated now.
Oh, I know, but even then...
It reminds me of your sister's, sort of Scandinavian bear. You should have warned her about marrying that arty type.
That's funny. She used to warn me about you.
Hey, look, there's quite a view out here. That must be Black Tor.
Where?
The tallest peak. Looking very blunt and north country in the moonlight. Because we don't normally see it at this angle.
Is that a campfire or something?
Yeah, looks like it. Tourists, maybe.
It seems very big. I mean, it must be quite a way off.
Yeah, still must be pretty nippy up there. At least it's warm enough down here. Well, we might as well have a rest for a few minutes.
Jamie, we are not stopping here.
Not for long, but I'd just like to hang around for a bit, see if anything turns
I
up.
should have listened to my sister. She said policemen were absolutely unscrupulous. Now listen, Jamie.
Well, what
What's that? Jamie, that's Bess. Jamie, we've got to help her.
Yeah, come on.
Hang on, lass. We're coming. Hang on. Hang on, girl. Bess,
Jamie, what's happened to her?
she's near here somewhere. Bess. Here, Bess. Here, girl. Come in, girl.
Jamie? Jamie? Is she...
She's dead.
How?
I can't tell. Doesn't seem to be any wound.
Oh, that poor sweet... Oh, Jamie, bring her here and let's go home. Please. Please, Jamie.
Yeah. You're all right, love. There's more here than I bargained for. For both of you. It's all right. She's not that heavy.
Did I sweeten it? I can't remember.
You ought to go back to bed. You didn't get much sleep.
Did you?
I kept trying to figure it out.
When are you going to...
What, bury her? Well, not just yet. I've rung the vet. I'd like him to have a look at her.
Post-mortem?
I've had another look in daylight, but I can't see a thing. There's not a mark on her.
Poor old thing. I feel so guilty about her. Who's that?
What?
Oh, it's your apparition from the moors. He's coming here.
Yeah, that's him. Spectacular habit, isn't it? Black on white. I told you he was 9 foot. I don't know how the hell he folds into a mini.
Hey, fasten your tunic. Did you leave the office tidy?
Relax, they finished with the Inquisition. Wonder if he's brought a few answers this time.
Oh, go on. Don't keep him waiting.
Constable Amos James Hewitt.
Well, that's right, Father. Well, come in.
You're only a slender shoot, Amos James. I expected the usual cumbersome dignity.
I'm the modern image, Father. Yes, sit down.
Thank you. A mixed blessing, then. But maybe you'll be older with the helmet. If not, the situation offers its advantages. I'll be able to play it like the Hollywood bit and give you the old my son treatment after every pearl of wisdom. Are you in the market for pearls of wisdom, Amos James?
I'm in the market for information, Father.
Now, the thing is, Amos James, what goes on under the helmet, under the tunic? Seat of the affections. What can I rely on?
Well, we don't come with any guarantees, Father.
They tell me some of you policemen can go a long way on simple peasant cunning. It isn't enough.
They tell me in the old days some of you friars could manage with it quite well.
You've been in bad company, Amos James, picking up tidbits like that. Will you have one of these?
Oh, no thanks. No, I've got a packet somewhere.
Oh, come on. I'll catch it back. You'll not get one up on a mendicant.
Well, thanks.
Did the dog die?
Well, yes. Well, how did...
I was there. I saw you carrying her afterwards.
What were you doing there?
Same as you, I imagine. An instinctive check. I was interested in seeing if my little announcement was working.
Well, I wondered too. What did you see?
Well, thanks largely to your flat feet, Constable, nothing. It wasn't your fault.
Well, that's very charitable of you.
Oh, think nothing of it. I'm in the trade. Anyway, our instincts were right. There was quite a lot happening.
What exactly?
Tell me first, where were you when the dog started to howl? In the cottage?
Yeah.
I thought as much. Then you owe that bitch a great deal, citizen. They were on their way there when she got wind of them. If they'd walked in on you, you'd have seen too much. I imagine she saved your life.
Well, from what, Father? I mean, who were they?
Some of your parishioners. Well, you probably know them all during the day. I don't, unfortunately. Neither does my informant. But he does know they murdered the old man's Spittlehouse. Well, don't worry, I'll arrange for you to meet him.
I'm sorry, I'm not with it. I can't see why they would want to kill Pam and I, whoever they are.
Oh, they didn't want to. It would have been most awkward. The last thing they seek is the limelight. But they would have had to if they felt you even suspected their activities. The dog gave them time to keep out of your way to avoid an embarrassing confrontation.
Well, what were they doing?
A ceremony of malice. Well, don't ask me why. Probably simply because they knew I intended to perform something clean there later. It's possible that things holy irritate like grit in the eye of the bestially unclean. They slit the throat of a young pig, for one thing, I heard that. The rest I wasn't able to find out. You put them on their guard. They're religious fanatics. Only they don't worship God.
What then?
Satan. They worship the devil. I mean, really, physically and actually. Horns, tail, and the lot. They don't attempt to rationalize it either. They don't claim they're worshipping the spirit of the new technology or the new humanism or something. That sort of jollops for the masses. These are the real devotees, the spiritual hardcore. I can hear Freud nagging away inside you. If you're convinced that I'm some sort of a nutcase, you'll be able to check.
No, of course not, Father. It's just that...
It's a lovely morning, Amos James. Sunlight on the moors, a bit of wind. Just as it was a lovely night last night. But not in that valley. Didn't you feel it? Thick and palpable evil. Your dog did. She died of fright, you know. Sheer terror. Can't you face that fact?
But if you know all this, why hasn't it been reported?
What's to report? I know next to nothing. Certainly I can't prove anything. I'd no intention of telling anyone at this stage, but after last night you'd leave me no choice. I can't let you wander about loose at nights. It's too dangerous. Relax. You're not obliged to believe anything. And anything you do believe will not be taken down in writing and given against you. You'll learn that there's enough solid crime in this to keep you fully occupied. You can leave the sin and the supernatural to others.
How many others, Father?
Just myself and St. Joseph. He's particularly good at this kind of thing. Though there is one other ally. I'd like you to meet him at the cottage this afternoon. Will you come?
Oh, yes. Yes, I can do that. Now, I don't see how I can report any of this just yet. And I doubt whether we've got a suitable form.
Even if we win, boyo, and this does finally come to be written, I'll promise you one thing. You'll not need any forms for refreshing your memory. The trouble will be in forgetting it.
Over there, Father. Oh, you can just see the roof and chimney. Oh, it doesn't look any better in daylight. Oh, I can't see any sign of your informant.
You won't, not till he sees we're alone. It wouldn't be healthy for him to be connected with either of us. We might as well wait inside.
The door's not really functional. Anyone home? Well, he's not arrived yet, Father.
He was maybe watching from outside somewhere. He's more at home out there. Give him time.
Yeah. A cigarette, Father?
Later. It's time I read my office.
Oh, well, I'll have a look around.
You needn't, you know. I don't lay on a bed of nails or anything. You can still smoke.
Yeah, I know. It's just that... Oh, heck, say one for me, Father.
I intended to. Deus in aditorium meum in gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum.
Father! Father, over here!
My God. That's no way to die. Shouldn't we cut him down?
It's too late for that, Father. No, I'd rather things were left just as they are for CID. You know who it is?
Yes. It's the man you police think was the murderer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Father. Sanderson. Rabbit Sanderson. Couldn't live with it any longer. It looks like he did do it after all.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
What do you mean?
I mean they did more than just kill the pig last night. There was a more startling climax to the ceremony. This. Don't you understand? This is my informant. This is the man I brought you here to meet.
That was episode 1 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. Listen to the next episode of Alan Ayckbourn's production of The Events at Black Tor, The Unquiet Dead. The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 2, The Unquiet Dead, in which Jamie and Father Probert, who have already brushed with violent death, find further evidence of the forces of darkness.
The jury's soon made its mind up.
I can't see why not.
Well, maybe so.
Have you decided on your verdict?
We have, sir.
Would you tell the court what it is?
We find the deceased, John Willis Anderson, took his own life while the balance of his mind was disturbed.
And the court will record that verdict. Thank you. You are discharged.
Day by day. Our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. For we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
I somehow expected Father Probert to be taking the service.
Well, Rabbit wasn't a Catholic, apparently. So it'll be one of his demarcation disputes.
I wonder why he became involved then.
Association of ideas, I expect. Our own vicar's a bit too rural England for the psychic phenomena.
There aren't many here.
Oh, I expected more. He wasn't exactly local boy makes good, but he must have had lots of cronies. I mean, why aren't they here?
Perhaps too scared to come.
Oh, give over. I mean, why should they be scared?
It's a queer business.
All right, so it's queer, but it's not as weird as all that, is it?
There's an atmosphere here you can cut.
That's a funeral, love. Any funeral. It'll be different back home over a cup of tea.
I suppose so. Is that poor woman his sister?
What? Oh, yeah.
I wonder what she thinks of it all.
It was hard to tell. They call her Daft Maggie.
She looks so thin.
Oh, well, it looks as if it's all finished now. I'm going to wander over there now they've gone.
I'll come with you.
Well, I'd just like to, well, you know, throw a handful of dirt, that's all. Just a gesture.
You're lovely, Ripley, aren't you? It's a kind gesture.
He'll not like the lack of space, will he? Not much room for a poacher. You know, blokes like him spend most of their lives breaking the minor laws. Regulars.
The sort of Bobby doesn't mind.
Well, not really, no.
I'm sure he'd appreciate a farewell from the law. Go on, throw it in.
He'd want more room than this. You see? I told you you'd feel better.
Yes, I do.
Of course you do. You can't go all extrasensory perceptual in a police house. It's against nature. It's probably against police regulations too, come to think of it. Conduct prejudicial to good order and police discipline.
Do you want another cup?
No. Next time I had a ride outside. I've still got a beat to patrol. I'll have the natives going berserk, brewing their own ale and nicking each other's sheep. Maybe that's why they weren't at the funeral. They're careering up and down the hills in some wild, sensual frenzy.
Oh, yes. I can just see that round here. Madly gay they are round here. I can't even remember a smile. Will you be long?
Oh, a couple of hours. Well, I ought to have a ride as far as Craddock's Edge. I mean, somebody's got to tell them Queen Victoria's dead. Oh. From Police House, Scarpend. Oh, hello, Sarge. What, tomorrow? Well, I wasn't, but I will. Afternoon? Yeah. Yeah, of course I don't mind. Well, get me off the prairie for a bit. As long as you don't mind sheep dung all over your office liner. Yeah. Yeah, OK. Yeah, will do. Bye.
What was that?
Oh, he's got to go into DHQ tomorrow. Wants me to cover for him at the station for a couple of hours.
Oh, you are an up-and-coming, bright young thing.
Well, be a change. Hey, look, I'll have to go. Well, that's not a police bike.
It's Father Probert.
Oh, Lord. That medieval rig out on a motorbike. I don't know what he's like on the collections, but he can certainly beg the transport.
He's coming in.
Enormous, isn't he? You know, I sometimes feel a bit conspicuous in this outfit, but compared to him, I'm CID.
Well, don't just stand there. Help me clear away. Put these over there. Come on, move.
You know, he's trouble, is this bloke. With the best intentions in the world, he's trouble.
Hello, Father.
Hello, lass. Is that policeman of yours at home?
Come in. Yes, he's in. He's through here, Father. Jamie's in here.
Good day, Moss James.
Ah, Father.
If it's me that's making you fidget, you can pack it in. There's nothing up these voluminous sleeves.
Oh, sorry, Father. Well, sit down.
Will you have some tea?
Yes, I will.
Good. I shan't be a minute. It's made.
You were at the funeral?
Yeah. Yeah, there weren't many there.
No, there wouldn't be.
Well, I thought you might have been there.
About the time they were burying him, I was saying a mass for him. That makes me a well-wisher, if not exactly a fully paid-up member, no?
Yeah, I suppose it does.
Did you wonder why there was nobody there?
I did.
Ah, good.
The sugars are there, Father.
Thank you, lass.
If Rabbit wasn't a Catholic, how did you become involved, Father?
When I was a lad, my family used to holiday not far from here. We did odd jobs for my father. He taught me how to snare. After I took my vows, of course, we lost touch. I'd nearly forgotten him. He traced me through my family, and he came to see me. And that wasn't easy for him. Expert as he was round here, the rest of the world was a bit overpowering for him. He couldn't read or write, of course, and you can imagine it took a bit of determination. Well, he found me. He had a drink and a bite to eat, the usual embarrassed reminiscences, and then suddenly he was telling me this incredible story. I didn't have to prompt him. I sat there and it poured out like lancing a saw. His old accent got thicker and thicker, and his stained old teeth kept reappearing, and I've never doubted his sincerity for a minute. Nor did I suspect his sanity. So what could I do but believe him?
And you still do?
Yes, I do.
How much did Rabbit tell you? I mean, what exactly did he know?
He knew that there was a group operating in this area and performing hellish ceremonies. A few he'd seen himself, others he'd heard of. He knew why old Walt had been murdered, and he knew why they'd taken the head.
He didn't know who they were?
No. It's very little, really, isn't it? Until you realise that the great big fact is to know about them at all. This is the thing they can't tolerate. They depend so much on secrecy. Rumours they might welcome as providing the right climate of fear, but definite, concrete knowledge of their activities they can't permit outside the group. Can I read you this? One of the indictments against Susan Barker was that she feloniously did take up a skull out of a certain grave in the burying ground of the parish church aforesaid, being part of the body of a certain deceased man lately buried there, with intent to use the said skull in certain evil and devilish arts.
When was that?
1616. You see, you've had a supernatural problem round here for some time.
Well, that's going back a bit, isn't it? I mean, they all believed it then.
The problem of doubt? Then listen to this. A peasant drawing water from a well was horrified to find a recently severed arm. When the authorities drained the well, they discovered a number of mutilated human remains. An investigation proved that several graves in a nearby cemetery had been disturbed. The caretaker of the cemetery was arrested, and in his house were found books dealing with the black arts. Would you like to guess the date of that one?
Same period.
October 1931, Finland.
All right, Father, so there's always been some nut
In that same investigation, the Finnish police appealed to Scotland Yard for help in tracing the activities of a society of devil worshippers with members all over Europe and a high priest in London.
So they delude themselves.
Then believe in that. It's enough. Because those delusions, as you prefer to call them, result in solid, concrete physical crimes.
Don't you see, Jamie? It doesn't matter that you can't share their beliefs. If they are doing these ghastly things, then it is your concern.
Well, certainly. If there was any evidence of that sort of thing...
Well, you're the lad to find that out. Is there a way you can do it without involving anyone else at this stage?
Well, it's possible. Well, brief details, anyway, going back about, 10 or a dozen years.
When?
Well, tomorrow, as it happens. I've got to go into the section station for the afternoon. I shall be out on my own so I can get the old occurrence book out. Well, there'll only be the various facts. I mean, all the statements and reports will have gone to DHQ.
But there'll be enough to show the kind of things we're looking for?
Well, yeah. If anything like that's been happening, it'll be there.
You'll be on your own, you said.
All right. All right, if you should happen to turn up about 4:30, say, I shall be able to give you a progress report. Well, it's a bit thin, Father. Just the one in all that time and not a thing for years now.
There should have been more. Bear in mind they're not seeking to advertise, but there should be more. They need certain bits and pieces for their ceremonies. Anyway, what have you found?
21st of June, wilful damage to cemetery. At 9:10 a.m. this date, a telephone message received from the Reverend Brooks, Vicar of St. Stephen's, to the effect that during the night damage had been occasioned to certain graves in the churchyard. Headstone had been toppled, ornaments removed and recent graves levelled. PC 412 Riddler and PS 390 Waters to the scene. Apparently no one was ever convicted.
What about the two officers?
Riddler's retired, Waters posted.
That's handy. What about the vicar?
Oh, he's still here, part of the landscape.
Well, we better find out what he remembers.
Are you sure it's worth it? I mean, it could be an ordinary case of vandalism.
That's what it was supposed to look like, to distract attention.
From what?
Those levelled graves. I'll bet you they were more than levelled.
I must confess I don't quite understand your interest. I could recount it equally well in the vicarage. Are you certain you don't care for a whisky, Father?
Thank you, no.
I'm afraid I don't keep any beer. My tastes don't run in that direction. I've always been a quality rather than a quantity man. The essence of the spirit rather than the outward manifestation.
An almost unassailable moral standpoint.
Yes, it's rather fundamental of mine. It enables me, for instance, to feel not one whit less clerical for this collar and tie than does your own rather more conspicuous attire.
An impeccable tie, naturally.
Even exclusive. Or would you insist that our duties are only to the masses? Now, this was the place, I think. Of course, the graves were new then. They all look very similar now. But it was these, I'm sure.
Was more than one?
Oh, yes, yes. It looked like a circus had been through. Do you ride, by the way, Father?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I see, really. Oh, that's splendid. A wonderful relaxation, I find. I keep a pair. It's just the place around here, of course. What's your mount, Father?
A BSA 500cc.
Yes. I thought you weren't the type. What exactly can I do for you, gentlemen?
A little information, Vicar.
Inform a Catholic. Very exhilarating.
Tell us what you remember about it.
I remember no one was ever court constable. An event all too typical of our enlightened modern climates. Young louts going about unpunished.
Did you have any reason to suspect it might be youth's vicar?
Who else? I suppose one would be expected to applaud them for having the imagination to graduate from cinema seats. If you are finally onto them after all this time, I shall still press charges. I shall want them prosecuting whoever they are, of no matter what denomination, Father. So if you've come here to plead a case...
What did they do?
They raised havoc in my churchyard. Sheer hooliganism. Considerable damage. The really appalling thing, I remember, was the total lack of any regard for the solemnities of the place.
They levelled some graves, didn't they?
Kicked them flat, deliberately trampled them. It was like a building site. Soil all over the place.
Was it all topsoil?
That's a peculiar question.
It's important.
Well, you've no right to expect me to remember a detail like that after all this time, but I do. I remember thinking it a nuisance. There were quantities of clay around. It stuck to everything. Clothes, boots. Now, that rather suggests that it wouldn't all be topsoil, doesn't it? I gather you think it was more than just a nuisance.
I think it possible that the graves were interfered with at a deeper level than was first thought.
I wonder why it is. As soon as the RCs arrive, one's knee-deep in phenomena.
I still don't see what makes you so sure.
The date, Jamie, 21st of June. The following night is a big one in their calendar. The night of the Spring Festival. It calls for something special. I'd stake my life one of those graves is empty.
It's still no good asking for an exhumation order. You've no real evidence.
I agree. Besides, we're not sure exactly which grave.
What now, then?
So, you're with me. Welcome aboard, Jamie. It's up to you for a while now. A matter of finding their trail.
Well, back to square one, then. I'd like to retrace Rabbit's movements on the night he died. It's still unofficial, mind. Absolutely no grounds for taking up police time.
Now, don't spoil it. You're sounding like a Protestant again. It's all yours. You're the expert at this stage. Now, where do we start?
Rabbit's sister, tomorrow night. I've got to return some of his effects anyway.
Tomorrow, then.
His pipe, his knife, and and there was also a bit of poaching gear. You understand I can't return that.
You'll not be needing it. Now it's killed him. I always said it would. I told him, you can't go on killing things, little things.
Maggie, you know who I am?
Aye, he said.
What did he say?
That you'd come to help, but I knew you weren't. I told him there'd be no help till he stopped killing. How could there? He'd laugh at me. Not lately, mind, he didn't laugh lately.
Well, why's that? Was he worried about something?
He was feared. Sometimes before he went out, others be he came back, but he still killed. He used to leave them there on sink. Their little bodies still warm and bonny. What is there that's half so bonny? You could feel how much he had to pay for one day. I could see. But men won't listen. The night before he died, out there in Plain, I saw his funeral. But he wouldn't listen, and so he's dead. Choked with his own snare.
What will you do, Maggie?
Stay here. With me cat, like old daft women are supposed to do. She's soft, with me any road. And if I watch her, she won't be killing. Not if I watch her. If I'm careful.
You're a gentlewoman, Maggie. Bless you for it.
Funny ideas.
That's the problem of pain she's wrestling with, Jamie. At a level of involvement quite as deep as a theologian's. She'd seen the fear in him, obviously.
She'd seen all sorts. What was it? On the night before he died, I saw his funeral.
Yes, that was strange. She didn't appear to be given to visions.
Well, at least she settled one thing. We know Rabbit never reached home after he left the grapes.
So somehow they got him between the pub and here. But how? He must have been on his guard. Anything suspicious and he'd have disappeared. He could move like a shadow.
It would have to be this lane, if anywhere. They'd have to allow for some sort of struggle, however brief. It's the only safe spot between the cottage and the pub. They'd use a vehicle. Or would they? Well, this bogey element puts me off, Father. I don't feel confident with the normal thought processes. What can you rule out with this lot? I mean, for all I know, you could be telling me that they took him off on a broomstick.
You just provide the detection spot. I'll handle the supernatural when it comes.
Right, then. Well, a vehicle. Now, I don't think they'd follow him. He'd notice. No. No, they'd wait. Here in this lane. It's narrow, so that should mean at least one wheel on the grass verge. Well, it's been a bit dry lately, but there still might be a mark. Look, you take that side, I'll do this.
What are we looking for exactly?
Well, anything. Any mark at all. Just give us a shout. The trouble is, it'll be dark soon.
Jamie, come here.
What is it?
Was this his dog?
Poor little mutt. Yeah, that was his. He never went anywhere without it. Well, that clinches it. He was killed. He'd never have done this. I mean, what a vicious swines. They haven't just killed it.
That's the kind of malice we're going to be up against.
Well, it'd be a pleasure. What's that tied to it?
It's a warning. They call it the witch's ladder. The knots on the rope represent the number of days left to the victim. It doesn't look much like a ladder in this case, since there's only one knot.
A warning?
To all who listen to the rumours and believe. They couldn't hang it round Rabbit's own neck, of course. That might have invited awkward questions at the inquest. So they hung it to his terrier and left it where it would be seen eventually by someone. And the warning's clear enough. The dog and his master both dead.
Yeah, well, it must have been seen. I wonder why no one's reported it.
To you? They wouldn't go near you, Jamie, not after this.
Aye, they're a close lot anyway. You can't drag things out of them.
I think the woman may have told us something.
Oh, Maggie?
Yes, more than we thought. I think she saw them the night he disappeared. I think she saw them in the lane here waiting. Though, of course, she wouldn't know what they were doing.
You mean the night before he died, I saw his funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she said the night before he died.
Now, did she? Or did she mean in her dialect, on the night he died before he died? They use that kind of construction round here. It's possible. And if it was that same night, whatever she saw here in the lane was probably them.
I still don't see
now,
what...
She saw the vehicle. Now, the kind of vehicle that prompts us to say, look, there's a funeral.
You think she saw a hearse?
Why not? Anyway, we'll check.
Well, it'd be a handy thing for them to have. Who's going to question what's in that sort of box? And if they didn't want to use a coffin, well, there's always the hidden compartment underneath where they shove the unceremonial stiffs. But you don't just hire one of those. I mean, well, not self-drive anyway. No. It would have to mean an undertaker with some funny habits.
Well, we might as well begin locally. Who have you got?
Funeral directors. Let's see, well, there's two. A co-op? Well, that's not really likely, is it?
No, old-fashioned but hardly satanic. Who else?
John Eddie Brown. He does a bit of everything, including thieving, we think. Now, he's much more likely.
It fits, you know. It would explain, for instance, why there's been so few graves tampered with.
You mean, who needs to dig? Why not just not bury him in the first place? God, this one's looking at all right.
Count me in for my turn on watch.
Well, you're going to lose some sleep, Father. I think it'll be his night journeys that will repay our interest.
We're all going to lose sleep till this thing's over.
Well, come on, then. Look, we'll have another word with Maggie. If she can lend us a shovel, we can bury this dog. I daren't get too close.
As long as we don't lose him. I must say you're well disguised. This rattletrap seems very unpolice-like.
It's warmer than that damn bike.
Thinks. Where's a rising young policeman going to get a shabby van like this?
I have my contacts. Hey, look. He's turning right. There's not much out that way, either.
He's going somewhere, and with a coffin. Oh, I'm just grateful for the break in monotony. I wasn't looking forward to another wasted night watching his bedroom light go out.
It might still turn out to be legit.
Which is more than can be said for our little outing. Don't you believe in lights, or is this just another novel feature of our carriage?
Don't chicken out at this stage, Father. It's a good job we're off the tourist routes. And mind you, they do tell me there was a car through here last March. Aye, there he goes.
What is it?
It's the entrance to a one-time stately home. It's an old folks' rest home now. Private affair, very plush, they say. For the aged and well-heeled, who also die, apparently. Just the same as the poor folk. Doesn't give you much encouragement, does it? Look, I'm going on past. We'll wait on the other side, then assuming he'll be going back the way he came, well, he's not likely to see us. I think we're wasting our time anyway. It's probably a straightforward no-monkey business trip.
This time, we'll try again.
He's a long time, isn't he?
You see, there could be several things to do.
No. Here he is. There's at least his someone. Yes, it's him. I suppose the coffin's full now.
I expect so. I'm inclined to think we're on to something. He's alone. Now, he wouldn't be, would he, if his errand was routine? I mean, his burdens are always heavy. There must be someone who normally helps him, even on night calls.
Hey, he's turning right. He's not going back home.
Where's that lead to?
I know how much. Well, there's a farmhouse come pub, the Traveller's Rest.
Bit late for a pint.
Well, the landlady's got a bit of a reputation. He's not really dressed for courting, is he?
We mustn't lose him now, Jamie. I want to see exactly what happens to that coffin. Everything. And push it as close as you dare.
Right.
It's not just oil that's burning. I'm beginning to detect a whiff of the fires of hell.
The hearse is in that barn affair.
Come on here, boy. Whatever feed that dog of yours.
Right. I'm going inside.
Suppose he comes back.
We'll hear him. Why do farmers never oil their hinges?
Do you want me to risk a quick look with a torch?
Yes, it's better than falling over everything. Just a touch now. Yes, that'll do. Careful, mind that petrol tin.
At least the coffin's still in the hearse.
Yes, but what's inside the coffin?
Do you think they've...
They were in here quite a while.
They weren't carrying anything when they came out and went into the house.
No, but there's more than one door to this place. Now, I want to look inside that coffin, Jamie.
Or rather you than me.
The Temple of the Holy Spirit, Jamie.
Well, not in the films I've seen.
Now, give me a hand with this door. Now, if you'll hold it, I'll get inside. I think you'll have to come on in, Jamie. Steady this lid.
This is definitely beyond the call of duty. Right.
Have you got it? There's only a finger hold.
Yeah, all right.
I'll raise it when I give the word. Just gently now. Right. Now I'm going to raise it my side.
Do you want the torch?
I daren't risk it again. No, I'll have to feel in.
Oh, no. Oh, what is it?
Pass me the lid to my side. Right, I have it. Let go.
What was it? What's wrong?
Feel for yourself. Put your hand in and feel.
It's empty.
Yes, but what else?
What? It's warm. It's still warm.
That was episode 2 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. Listen to the next episode of Alan Ayckbourn's production of The Events at Black Tor, The Fires of Hell. The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 3, The Fires of Hell, in which Jamie and Probert meet fresh terrors, and Pam is in danger of her life.
It's still warm. So whoever was in here was...
Still alive, yes.
I've never been much for muscular Christianity, but I'm sorely tempted towards roughing up this lot of beauties.
You better get home, you'll be missed.
Aye, who the hell do you think's going to miss me then?
Cue for exit, Brother James. The lid. Gently now. Right. Mind your great feet. Let's disappear.
We've got to close the door.
That'll do. Well, if you hold the torch, I can get through that.
If there's any doubt, shove it wider.
Get out of it. Go on, damn thing.
Don't move.
All you have to do is hold the light.
Does it feel better having me doing things at your suggestion? Is that it? You're getting a bit of your manhood back, are you?
Well, how am I going to see you?
You know when.
On your own, I mean. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, all right. You'll get your share. Turn and turn about. Don't be greedy. You've still got a lot to learn. Ah, here, Tib. Where are you? Here, Tib. Oh, don't start that thing yet. I don't want him running over. Oh, he's here somewhere.
You stop waving the light about.
Here, Tib. Oh, you're over there. Come on, prettykins. Where are you?
Where the hell did that drop from?
Look at his fur. Oh, what's the matter, Tib? Oh, it's you. He doesn't like you.
No, well, it's mutual, I'll tell you that much.
Never mind, Tib.
Show the light, the light!
Hold your shirt on. And don't forget, tell Wallace I'll need more powder. You can pick it up from him at the funeral.
Shall you come and fetch it?
You bring it up. Same night, here, before somebody wakes up. You better not mess about.
I'll bring it. Shall you be here on your own?
We might be Tibby, You'll have to see, won't you? You'll have to see.
Had his flaming claws in.
I could feel you were about to explode. It left in rather a hurry.
We'd had some help. I thought she was coming over.
She was.
What now?
We'll wait a minute. Let things settle, and then we'll have a look around.
What for the...
For the poor wretch they brought here. This place connects with some of the other buildings.
The funeral that Peck were talking about. Well, it's probably the same poor wretches. Only they'll be burying an empty coffin.
With suitable weight and ceremony, yes. Which leaves them with a spare human being and no strings attached.
It means that somebody at the old folks' rest home must be signing death certificates.
Including the one for his own immortal soul.
So there's a doctor in it up to his ears. Would he be the one they called Belias?
And it's a title among them. Belias, Prince of the Order of Virtues, who tempts men to arrogance. Undoubtedly one of the more successful devils. It won't be his name.
By hell, it's neat, isn't it?
By hell it is, Jamie. By hell and of hell and for hell. In a way, I regret having had to involve you. The responsibility in this is much heavier than you should have to bear.
Oh, forget it. As long as we can do something for that poor... Well, come on, let's get on with it.
We'll try this door. Some sort of passage.
I suppose whoever it is will be drugged. Well, let's hope so, anyway. Drugged and unattended. It's a bit optimistic, isn't it?
Oh, now what? Yes, can I help you?
Constable.
Oh, I'm afraid not at the moment. He's out. Is it urgent?
Aye.
Oh, well, I can ring through to the section station for you. They'll send someone out.
No, this constable.
But if it's urgent...
I'll wait.
I don't know when he'll be back. It might be some time.
I'll wait.
Are you a local man? I could send him to you as soon as he comes in.
I'll wait here.
I suppose you'd better come in the office. You can wait in here. If you get tired and change your mind about me ringing through to the section, just knock on the door. I'll be through here. Come on, Jamie. Oh, Let's hope he's changed his mind. Yes?
It's cold.
It can't be that bad. We're centrally heated. Oh, now look here, I've given you several alternatives. I suggest you give me your address and go home, and I'll... What are you doing?
I'll wait in here.
You can't come in here. This is private. I'm going to ring the section.
Don't. I'll just sit here in this chair, out of your way.
But this is...
And you sit there, still. Nice and still. That way we're apart. But not if you get excited. If you get excited, then we won't be apart, will we?
Well, that cupboard's bare.
That leaves only this. Sounds like a fold yard.
Oh, smells like one.
Gently does it, then. We don't want a stampede.
It could be quite a size. There'll be doors off this place, too. We're starting all over again. Oh, what's that?
A cow or something.
Well, this place gets me. I don't know what to expect next. The beast from 50,000... Well, it doesn't sound like any midget.
I think we'd better risk another quick flash with your torch.
Yeah. OK. You ready?
Go ahead.
Jeepers! Some cow! God, it's like a ruddy buffalo.
Journey's end, I'm afraid. We can't get past that without shattering them all in piece. Back up, Jamie. Ever so gently now.
Phew. So whoever was in that coffin would be somewhere on the other side of that bull.
Yes. It's not a bad way, you know, to prevent prying eyes. Tramps have been known to kip in barns, but no one's going to be nosing round there.
What a place to wake up in, though. I hope whoever it is well drugged.
Amen to that.
We can't just leave them there.
I know, but we have a couple of days, and so have they. These people won't be doing anything till after the funeral, at least. I'll tell you later why I'm so sure. In the meantime, the best service we can do for whoever it is to make a silent exit. And one more thing, Amos James. Don't be talking to me on the way back in the van. Whoever is in there needs all the rosaries they can get.
Can't you give me a better description than that?
No, I can't. He was so ordinary.
I thought you said he gave you the creeps.
Well, he did, but it was his manner, his total lack of expression.
But what exactly did he do?
He didn't really do anything. Oh, I know it sounds nothing like this, but imagine how I felt at the time.
What really scared you?
Everything about him. The way he could come and force his way in when you were out.
The sense of threat, Jamie. Easy to imply without being specific. Aimed probably as much at you as at Mrs. Hewitt.
He took a risk, though, didn't he? All right, he got away with it this time, but it was a risk. I mean, not real sensible. I mean, how did he know when to leave? Suppose he'd still been here when I got back.
He wasn't, was he? How long before we arrived did he leave?
Oh, just a few minutes.
Coincidence, Jamie?
There must have been somebody outside to give him a tip-off somehow.
The real point, Jamie, is that we take the hint. 1, we don't leave Mrs. Hewitt alone again at night. And 2... Well, there are certain other precautions we can begin to take. I want you to let me indulge myself in a little ceremony in this house.
Well, of course. Well, what kind?
As far as you're concerned, its more spectacular side will be the Latin and the sprinkling with holy water.
I think I'd like that, Jamie.
Well, if you think it's necessary, Father.
I do. Let me put it this way. Because of the hideous practices carried out in certain places, the concentration of evil becomes almost solid. And I'd feel happier if in this house at least we began to cleanse with the counter-energy of purification and prayer.
Jamie?
All right, yes. Go ahead, Father. A good turnout from the rest home. It all looks very proper. That good vicar would be doing his well-bred nut if he knew he was performing over an empty box.
I suppose the opulent-looking gent is the rest home director.
Yeah. Hey, do you reckon he's Belias?
Probably. Did your cleaning woman know what Mrs. Leslie is supposed to have died from?
Old age, probably. Apparently they had Mrs. Leslie in a private room. It was well established that she was a dying woman.
So no one's surprised by this funeral.
Must even be finishing.
Then we'd better withdraw. If they see us watching this, I'm afraid Mrs. Leslie soon would be dead, and this time for real.
It's odd, isn't it? On a morning like this, yet in this quiet little English country churchyard, that foul charade's just been played out.
There seems to be a mark of evil that it has no sense of the ludicrous.
Hello, love. We're back.
Your dinner is ruined.
My fault, I'm afraid, Mrs. Hewitt.
Oh, it's not. We've been across half the blasted hills in the county. Oh, I'm bushed. Is there a cuppa?
There is, plus the burnt remains. Well, was it worth it? Did you find what you were looking for?
Not a sign. Dead sheep or two, that's the lot.
As far as you know, we've covered all the places that the locals seem to hold in bad odour.
Yeah, as far as I know.
I felt sure it'd be one of those. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless its reputation is so bad that they never speak about it at all.
What about the fire we saw that night?
What night?
Well, the night poor Bess died. You know, in that awful cottage you dragged me to.
Hey, that's right. I'd forgotten. We saw it from the window in the cottage. It was up the hill, Black Tor direction somewhere.
Jimmy, have you got a map?
Yeah, where's the Ordnance Survey?
Well, it should be in here, but knowing your tidy habits... Ah, here it is.
Ah, that's it. Right, now then, here's Scarpend.
Yeah.
Now, where's the deep dyke? Down here somewhere.
Well, it's an old cottage. It's probably shown.
Yeah, look. It was the back window, wasn't it?
Yes. Don't you remember? We looked up and to the right.
Yeah, I thought it was some camping party. So that's out this direction, Black Tor itself. It's a good place. It can only be seen from the deep dyke. And I mean, who goes down there?
Except a few poachers.
Yeah, that's right. And we know what happened to them.
Well, the name itself should have told us. White being the traditional colour of purity and innocence, we can gather what reputation Black Tor must have had in the district.
Do you think this is where they'll be taking Mrs. Leslie?
I should say so, yes. We'll check first, of course. We'll pay a visit.
Have we time to check?
Oh, yes. We've still got 2 nights. It's on the 3rd they'll be using it themselves. The date again, you see? The 23rd of June, night of the summer festival.
When they do what they plan to do to that poor woman, will she be conscious?
They're not going to do it. Not this time, Mrs. Hewitt. But there will have been others, and I'm afraid I can't imagine them sparing the victim's feelings. Well, now, I really must leave and put a few hours in at my parish.
Tonight, then, Father? We're going to have a look at Black Tor?
Yes. If it is the place, then we have both ends of the chain. We know where Mrs. Leslie is, and we shall know where they intend to take her. Now, surely, knowing that, when the time comes to call in the cavalry, we can get the job done without any accidents.
Oh, I don't know. Can't we call them in now?
Oh, believe me, Jamie, I'd like to. I'd like to share this, but I daren't alert them. We're going to have to take them, all of them, while they're fully committed in their ceremonies. Otherwise, some are going to escape. And if they do, there'll eventually be some other Mrs. Leslie. It's a risk we haven't the authority to take. We've got to get the lot.
I thought we might just as well get our bearings from the cottage itself.
That's wise, I think. It's a pretty wild country up there. We could wander about for a long time without the proper bearing.
Do you think they might be performing tonight?
There's no calendar reason. It's just possible. It depends on how committed they become to a regular ritual. Also, there might be something in the nature of a rehearsal for the festival. Their procedures are quite complicated.
You're telling me. I've been reading. Seems hardly possible that people in this day and age behave like that.
No, they're totally dedicated to evil. There are no limits.
Oh, well, here's the cottage. Well, it seems quiet enough.
All right. Let's go in. I feel better tonight knowing that that wife of yours is not going to be alone.
Police House, Scarpend. Speaking. Oh, hello, Madge. I'm just making some supper for us. What do you fancy? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Can't be helped then, can it? No. Yes, all right. Some other time, then. Bye.
Talk about atmosphere. This is not exactly my favourite cottage.
In view of its associations, that's not surprising. At least 2 men have been murdered near here. Now, you think from this window this angle is about right?
Out to the best of my recollection, yes.
Well, if we set this to that bearing, then it'll probably get us somewhere near.
It's going to be a tough old pull.
From this end, yes. I assume there must be some easier access, though. Some route where they can get quite near with a vehicle.
Well, yeah, there will be, from the other side. Hey, look at this.
Where?
Up the hill. Flames. They're lighting a fire.
That's strange. For a rehearsal, I thought they wouldn't.
Well, we won't need the compass now. Looks like we're in luck. If we can get close enough, there might be some faces in that firelight that I can recognise. Are you ready?
Ready.
The enemy materialises. Our first close contact.
Hold your horses, policeman. It's a long climb.
Who's there? Who's there? Big funny jokes. Right, I'll fix you lot. Hello? Hello? Oh, God. Go away! Go away!
I haven't seen anyone around the fire yet. Have you?
No. We ought to be able to see them from here.
Unless they're all on the other side. No? No, not a sign. We might as well go in and have a closer look then. Must have finished.
Jamie. All right, we'll do that, but first a warning. Back in the cottage, you felt the atmosphere, remember? Well, up here, round that fire, this place must be crawling with evil. You mustn't go in there with your mind unprepared, undefended. You must focus it now and keep it focused, whatever happens, on something strong enough and pure enough to support it. The cross is the strongest symbol. You understand me?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, all right.
Hold fast to it, Jamie. Promise me.
Yeah, all right.
Good. Now, well, if you're ready then, come on. Now, if you find the idea slipping away from you, pray. Say the words distinctly and clearly. If I hadn't got your promise that you will, that you'll do as I say, I'd not dream of letting you put foot in this place. Believe me, Jamie, I'd send you bowling down this hill first.
I believe you would. By the size of you, you'd probably be able to do it. Okay, you're the doctor. Anything you say.
Come on, then. Can you feel the heat of hell, lad? Because that's what it is.
Are those stones the ones we're looking for?
Yes. And over there. Look. Their altar.
Can't tell whether these are stains or shadows. Oh, this fire's hot. Strange colours, too. And shapes.
What's that?
The shapes in the fire.
Turn away. Turn your back on it. Don't look.
What? Oh, no. No, all right. I'm all right. The altar. There could be stains, look.
Can't tell in this flickering light. But when the time comes, there'll be all sorts around here for your forensic people. What worries me at the moment, however, is why there's no one here. Why have they left a fire like this?
It'll burn for an hour yet. Maybe more.
This is interesting. The shape of these stones.
Too much smoke. Even in the flames.
They make a pentagon.
Too thick. Dancing.
They've made attempts to conjure up their filthy deities.
No. No.
Oh, God! The horns are rising! Jamie, go back! Oh, no! No, in the flames! Look what's in the flames! Oh, God, have mercy! Look what's in the flames!
Jamie, come home. Please come home.
Come away! Come away, lad! It's me! Let me go! Let me go! I'm sorry, lad, but if it's the only way... Oh,
bless you, boy. Now, come on. Let's get you to some cleaner air. Now, come on. Breathe now. Deep. Come on. Now, can you stand? No? All right. Flop down here.
I'm going mad, Father. I saw the devil.
Breathe. Breathe deep. You're not mad, nor are you going to be. Now, what did it look like?
Don't ask me. I can't bear to remember.
Well, listen. Answer me this. You've been reading. Now, were there any illustrations in the books? Pictures of devils?
Yes.
It was like one of them, wasn't it?
Yes. I never thought when I looked at those books that such things could really...
Relax, Jamie. We've been had, don't you see? You already had the picture in your mind. You brought it with you. That's what you were looking at, your own imagination. Oh, excited, yes. Stimulated to excess, but nevertheless feeding on what was already there. They've been a jump ahead of us tonight, Jamie.
I don't know how, but they were expecting us. That fire was an invitation. A loaded invitation. They were salted with something. You remember the colours? There was a smell. I thought maybe it was a kind of incense. But it wasn't. It was a drug. But what kind?
Who knows? But remember, they've a tradition of expertise in strange mixtures. And we think Wallace is a medical man. Well, that gives them all the old secret skills with herbs, plus the products of modern drug houses.
So real.
And damn dangerous. Do you know you were walking into that fire?
I had an idea it was the only way I could be rid of it. That's all I wanted, to be rid of it.
There are reports of several suicides following the taking of the drug LSD. Oh, that in the fire might have been something similar. It plays on the imagination, overexcites it, creates its own temporary reality. Then, as in your case, that reality is so horrible as to be intolerable. Well, fortunately, things didn't get so far. What is still disturbing is the precise way in which we've been anticipated tonight.
How could they?
I can understand their knowing our activities in a general way, but how did they know we were out tonight? Why were they so sure that fire would attract us?
They must have known that one of the things we'd been looking for is the site of their meetings.
Yes, perhaps they've had one prepared for us every night. Unless... Who's sitting with Mrs. Hewitt?
Well, Madge. Madge Harris. Girl from the grocer's shop. They talk to each other in the shop.
What did you tell her?
Well, just that I'd be up. What? You don't think that...
Can you run? Get your feet back in use, quick. You see, if they knew we would be out here, they'll know she's down there, not terribly well guarded. Come on!
That was episode 3 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. Listen to the next episode of Alan Ayckbourn's production of The Events at Black Tor, The Hounds of Hell. The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 4, The Hounds of Hell, in which the police move in and Pam, Jamie and Probert are trapped.
There's a light on anyway.
I never realised how alone and lonely the house is.
I think it might be best if we got off the road and moved quietly. I know you feel like rushing, but just in case.
All right. I don't suppose a minute longer will matter. Hell, I hope not.
Can we cut the angle here? Across the field?
Yeah. There's no why, just a ditch. Come on.
It seems quiet.
I'll have to be getting another dog. She ought to have a dog for when I'm out. We'll walk in natural, shall we? I mean, slow. No sense in making a fuss if she's all right.
Agreed.
Through here, then, and then we're back on the road. I shan't leave her again till this is all over. It's lunacy. Way out here like this. But the door's wide open.
It's been forced.
Pam? Are you there, Pam? It's Jamie, we're home. Where are you, Pam? You there? If she's been hurt...
Perhaps she left with a girl.
I'll swing for her.
Is she on the phone, the girl who was sitting in?
She won't be upstairs with the door wide open. Are you there, Pam? Pam!
The other girl, this Madge, was she on the phone?
Oh, no, our old man keeps dogs. They live miles from anywhere. Take 'em hours to get here. I was going to take 'em back on the bike. I'm going to ring the station.
Yes, I think it's time.
There's nothing here. It's dead. I must be mad. I mean, fancy leaving her. What am I going to do?
Shh. Listen.
Pam! Pam! Oh, Pam. Where have you been? What happened? The door's been...
Give it a chance, Jamie.
Are you scared us to death? The door's wide open. The phone's kaput. What's been going on?
Have you had your supper?
Well, of course we haven't.
I'll get you some. You have tea or cocoa?
Tea will be fine, Mrs. Hewitt. Gently, I think, Jamie.
What is this? I mean, doesn't she know? What's going on?
I'm not sure, but I think we're going to have to find out slowly.
Pam, and listen, love. What happened tonight?
If you want something warm, you'll have to wait.
Pam, what about the door? It's been forced.
There's some cold meat if you'll have a sandwich.
Now, look, put those things down and listen to me.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about the tea, Mrs. Hewitt. I'll see to that.
Now, love, look. Now, listen. What happened tonight? Now, tell me.
What happened to your face, Jamie? Your face all smudged. You look funny.
Tell me what happened to the door.
You smell of fire.
You were out when we got here. Where had you been?
Outside. Walking.
Where?
In the lane. I was in the lane. I don't know. Let me get you a drink. I was making a drink.
Never mind about the...
Perhaps it would help, Jamie. I suppose that phone will still be dead.
Well, yeah, of course it will. You're not expecting it was an exchange fault. No. No, I lay bet the wire's been cut.
I think something similar may have happened to Mrs. Hewitt.
You mean that's why she won't tell us anything?
I don't think it's a question of her being unwilling. I think she's unable.
But why?
Because she's forgotten.
Well, just like that. I mean, amnesia. She remembered me. Well, you. I mean, I thought everything went. The lot.
Not always. Sometimes it's a safety valve. In effect, you forget what you have to forget.
Have to?
Or crack. Or so they say.
You mean the head shrinkers?
Well, it doesn't seem at all unlikely to me that there should be some natural way of cushioning a shock which might otherwise be unbearable. After all, I believe in a God of mercy. It's the instinctive equivalent of what the doctor does with his sedatives.
Poor kid. I wonder what the hell they've done to her.
By the looks of it, nothing physical. At least you can be thankful for that. I should say they've worked on her nerves. Scared her half to death.
Well, she's had a hell of a shock.
Yeah. I think shock would be the medical term for her condition at the moment. Questioning only distresses her.
In my own house? I look forward to the time when I can get my hands on somebody's collar. I mean, somewhere behind all this hokey-pokey, there's bound to be some flesh and blood, and I'm going to get me a piece. I mean, why pick on her?
Your most vulnerable spot, Jamie. The way to a man's heart is through his woman.
I'd like to pay a visit to that rest home, sort out that Belias twit.
And make it plain to him that we know all about him, and therefore about Mrs. Leslie. If we can conceal that, she has another 2 days to live, and we have a chance of saving her. But we're not going to be able to do it without help. You've had a taste of the malice that exists behind all this. It's evil and it's alert. It's time we called in the cavalry. It's going to be like walking on eggs, but somehow we've got to set the full machinery in motion without tipping our hand.
It's funny, I can't seem to find the sugar.
Oh, well, maybe Madge put it somewhere.
Madge?
Lord, yes, Madge. Well, what happened to her? Did she leave early?
Don't know. I can't remember. Why can't I think? There's something about Madge.
Don't worry, Mrs. Hewitt. Jamie, I'll get the bike and ride over to the girls' place. Check she's all right.
Oh, thanks.
There was something about supper. I was making something for supper. Yes, I may have made some pastry.
Well, that's something. If it's been eaten, she must have only left recently.
It's here.
It's not been eaten.
It's not even been baked. Why? Why can't I remember? Oh, Jamie, what's happening to me?
All right, love. That's all right now. You've had a scare, and it'll all come back.
Looks like the girl might not have come at all. Very convenient for them.
Yeah, too convenient. It'll be worth finding out what made her change her mind. I'll see her in the morning and hear what she has to say.
Right. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to take Pam to the section house. I better get the doctor to see her.
No, I don't want a doctor.
That might be wise, providing you can invent a suitable reason for her being like this.
Well, you don't think that he
Can
might...
we afford to take any chances?
God, no. No, you're right.
If she can sleep, it'll be all right. If not, you'll have to risk it. Make something up. Or say nothing.
Well, I'll be glad when I've told the sergeant and get some of the weight off.
Will he believe it?
Well, he will if you're in attendance.
Well, there's your phone in action again, anyway. Pity the rest won't mend as easy.
I'm just thankful you believed it.
In the shade of that muscular great monk, what else?
Well, I hope they're listening to him at DHQ.
They must be. He's been there all morning.
I thought when I saw you coming back so quickly that they'd laughed it off.
Oh, I got tossed out early. Well, you know the force. Secrets only for the Chief Superintendent and above.
Well, he can't be telling him anything we haven't already told you.
No, but you know how it is. Well, it's bad for their image, you know, mixing with sergeants and things. So report back to your section, Sergeant. We'll take it from here.
I hope they take it easy, that's all.
Yeah. That poor old dear on ice up at the pub. Well, they've got the message, you'll see. I know it's hard to believe, but they can walk softly when needs must. They want to know why you didn't report it earlier, incidentally.
Oh, naturally. That's the standard operating procedure. In every situation, leap unerringly to the old standby and see what you can blame the PC for. You know just how much they'd have been impressed if I had reported it at the beginning.
I know, but you get a rollicking anyway. You can't argue with the facts of life. What are you planning to do with that lass of yours till all this is over? Would you like her to stay here with my missus?
Or would you?
She's been here in the bed all morning.
Oh, thanks. Well, it'll only be till tomorrow night.
All right. Win, lose, or draw.
Well, what do you think? I mean, can it be done? Can we get them before they can kill Mrs. Leslie?
I don't know. The trouble is we've nothing on them. Nothing solid. They'll have to be taken in the act. It's the only way.
Exactly. And how do we ring the district without tipping them off?
Well, the answer to that little problem is no doubt what they're working out right now at DHQ. Come on, get your helmet. I don't fancy sitting around here any longer. Let's go and see your sitter's father. What's his name?
Harris.
Ah, that's right. Come on. You think the lass herself is all right, then?
Madge? Oh, yes. It was obvious she was as puzzled as anybody why he was making such a fuss. She said it wasn't like her old man to get excited about anything except his dogs. Apparently, he got pretty nasty before she understood that he wasn't kidding.
Did he, give her any reason why she wasn't to go to your place?
Well, none that made any sense.
But he was determined that she shouldn't go.
Very. You'd have thought it was a matter of life or death. That's what she said. And what do you think?
Sounds like he was told to warn her off by somebody who was able to give him a right scare. It'll be interesting to find out who, if we can.
Well, he must know enough to know what to be scared of. He's the best lead we've had. I mean, hell, it's like old times. It's the only normal bit of police work I've been on since all this started. The only thing that worries me is should we be following it up?
I thought about that.
Well, they'll learn about it.
Very likely. But it still won't give away what we know. It would be a sight more suspicious on our part if we didn't follow it up. Now, that really would get them thinking. No, they'll be expecting us to go as far as this. What worries me is why are we suddenly being presented with this solid, clear-cut lead? That's his place. Through the gate behind the trees.
Oh, he likes his seclusion, doesn't he?
Oh, he has too. Breeds and trains these dogs. I don't suppose it'd go down well with neighbours. Yeah, and watch how you go, incidentally. He's got some as big as ponies.
Oh, that doesn't sound much like a pony.
That's the one he keeps for feeding to the big uns. Damn quiet. Why aren't the big dogs barking?
Where are the kennels, then?
Round the back of the house. We'll go there in a minute.
Oh, I've got a feeling something's happened to that solid, clear-cut lead you were on about.
Look, you're jumping to conclusions. I've told you before. That's for civvies. He might be in there yet, in a carsy or something.
You want to bet? That's rather peculiar. It doesn't feel right.
Oh, give over. What are you, a clairvoyant? Take it one step at a time, without the atmosphere bit.
I do so admire your professional calm, Sergeant. Come off it. It smells, you said so yourself. I mean, why aren't the big dogs barking? There ought to be a hell of a fuss. I can't see anyone in this room. Only the dog.
Try the other window.
No, nothing in here. I'm going to have a look around.
Hang on. I'm coming. You try the kennels. I'll check round here.
They're all like this one. Cages wide open. Nothing, not a thing.
No, there's not round there either. Maybe he's got them all out somewhere, exercising.
Well, I shouldn't have thought so, not all at once. And they take a bit of handling, especially on what he feeds them on.
What does he feed them on?
Raw meat. In that storeroom down there, a load of it.
Maybe he cooks it.
Not by the look of the scraps in the cages. They'd be a bit of a handful, wouldn't they? I mean, big dogs on a diet like that. I shouldn't care to meet one in the dark.
Hang on, there's still the barn. Let's have a look in the barn.
You nosy old devil. You're the same, you old bobbies. Poke around for hours when somebody's back's turned.
Where's the police instinct?
Oh, aye, that, and not trusting your mother. Oh, dark, isn't it?
Well, there might be another door down that end. Now, if we can open that, it'll let a bit of light in.
Well, I suppose a bit ripe in here. What the hell was that?
Stand where you are, and don't move. I can't see it. Now draw your stuff. Slow, and for God's sake, don't startle it. Now edge away to your left. Away from the door. Now give it room to get through. The damn thing won't move. I was hoping he'd buzz off when he saw the way clear. We'll have to give him a chauffeur.
Play it cool, Sergeant.
A sudden noise, maybe. Listen, Jamie. When I give you the word, explode. All the racket you can make.
Right.
Me too. Now, both together. Yeah, hey, listen, cover your face, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Right, when I shout then, yell and jump about.
No!
Hey! Okay, sorry, hold it. Bastard won't
now, can you?
Just his eyes. Why won't he move? What's he got there?
What's that?
A pitchfork. Get over to the wall. I'm gonna have a go at him with this.
Watch yourself, then.
Get on it. Get on!
Ah! Ah, you've got it. Oh, there he goes. Hell, what a size. What's he got down there? Some meat? His muzzle looked all red. Hey, Sarge.
Have a walk down there and open that door. Now get me some light here.
What? Well, yeah. Yeah, sure, okay. Well, that all right enough?
Plenty.
Well, what is it? What have you found? What have he got down there that he didn't want to let go of? Well, he certainly tried to... Good God in heaven. God. He certainly had some meat, all right. What is it? What was that?
Harris. Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Poor devil. He's cold.
But not stiff yet.
How long would you say?
That's the medic's pigeon.
Oh, come on, mate, you're not in court.
Yeah, all right, well, between friends, I'd say early this morning. It's fairly warm in here. He wouldn't cool off all that fast.
Well, what went wrong, I wonder?
He knew too much. That's what went wrong.
What, you mean... Well, you don't think it was an accident?
Give over his own dog.
You hear some funny stories about Alsatians.
He was an expert, not some unattended kid. I knew it was too good to be true. Having a lead like this, now look at it.
Look, all right, so he knew something. I mean, I can understand why they figured this was necessary. But how? I mean, how did they manage it?
Well, I don't know that it would be too difficult, given time. And out here they could have had lots of that. Wait a minute. What about his daughter? Where was she last night?
Oh, in town. She spent the night with her married sister.
Convenient, isn't it? Why, did she say?
Well, because he was in such a temper. Well, by the time he'd finished making sure she kept away from Pam, they were having a tearing row. I think she was scared to go home. Hey, do you think that's what he intended her to be?
Well, don't you? It's obvious he was under some sort of instructions to keep her away from your place. I'll make a little bet those instructions went further. And he was told to make sure he came home alone.
So they had all the time in the world to provoke the dogs somehow.
Or dogs. Where are the rest of them? The kennels are empty. They're all loose somewhere.
But just roaming about savage. Good God. We'll have to warn the farmers. There's nobody else out here, is there?
It's not half as bad as the alternative.
What's that?
That they've got them under control somewhere. Ready for when they're needed.
Oh, get away.
Yeah, it's potty, isn't it? Till you look at Chummy here.
Well, all right, I mean, once. Well, this I can see, but again.
But it's right up their street. Messy. Put the fear of God. Well, you know what I mean. Up the district when it gets around, and above all, it's clever.
Clever?
Jamie, lad, look, both you and me, we know this poor slob's been murdered. And we both know what the verdict's going to be. Accidental death. Because we haven't had a chance, not an hope of proving anything else. That's clever enough for me. Now, let's face it, Jamie, if one night they trot out another animal somewhere all worked up to kill, and some poor devil's found with his throat torn out, it's going to be the same blasted verdict. Accidental death. They're onto a good thing. You better stay here and keep an eye on things. I'm going to ring in.
Hey, what if Fido decides to come back?
Well, you know what they say. Never pat strange animals. It's always the same. I've told you before, you've got to face the facts of life. I mean, you know the faults.
The minute anyone in uniform turns up something a bit different, bingo. CID swarming all over it.
Well, what did you expect?
Well, I expected to get shoved out, but not so quick. I mean, not straight back to checking pig licenses.
You know what's really bitching you, don't you? Somebody's pinched your case. It's been taken over. Well, forget it. It always happens. It was high time it was turned over anyway.
I hope they'll be quieter tomorrow night when we're trying to save the old girl than they were just now. Clattering all over Harris's barn.
I'll give them a bit of credit. Like I told you, they can move softly when they have to. The whole point about that altar site on Black Tor is that it can only be seen from one place, down in the bottom.
From Deep Dyke, yeah.
Ah, well, let's have a look. Maybe that'll satisfy you. Put your mind at rest.
The cottage is just down there. You'll see it in a minute. Yeah, they ought to have somebody down here keeping a lookout.
I always said you had the makings of a superintendent.
Yeah, I'll have that in writing. You know, I'm right there. I mean, somebody who could signal the party up on the Tor if there was anybody snooping about down here. Hey, hold it. Hey, will you look at that cheeky mister? Calm as you please.
He could do with a wash.
He could do with a boot. It's no time to be encouraging tramps. Hey, look at that fire. I bet there's a rabbit in that ruddy pot. That's if he hasn't lifted a chicken from somebody. I'm going to move him on. We've enough on without this old tea leaf here.
Now you're talking like some typical country bobby.
Hello, Governor.
I'll give you hello, Governor, tatty old lad. What you doing here?
Just having a bite to eat. There's no law against that, is there?
About half a dozen, that's all, depending on what's in that pot.
Smells all right.
Oh, aye. Does the job right, does this one. What is it, then? Fair or feathers?
Oh, fair, sir, fair. I couldn't hardly come by feathers, honestly, now could I? No, I found this lying on the road. Hardly touched it, sir, hardly a mark. You'd scarcely believe it.
Don't encourage him, Sergeant. He's flying off, is this one?
I have always thought so. How are you, Walter?
Oh, nicely, thank you, George. How's yourself? If you'll just excuse me a minute while I flash the boys on the hill to carry on.
Hey. Hey, what is this?
Detective Sergeant Merrion, a crafty old bobby.
And not a bad cook. Will you sample a piece?
Oh, you funny, funny pair. You could have told me. I mean, you didn't have to make me feel a twit.
He was scared you'd be clumping all over in your biggest boots. I thought I'd better let him see for himself.
Ah, you did right. You're not a twit, son. It's your job to worry about things like that. But you can relax in this case. It's being done gentle. There's been nobody snooping round here, I'll guarantee that.
Where are the boys then, Walter?
Yon ridge, about halfway up, where it levels off. Here, have a look through these.
Aye. No. Oh, I can't see him. Yeah. Oh, wait. Aye. Oh, there they are. Oh, that's very nice. Whose idea was that?
Well, I couldn't have 'em laughing at me being the only one togged comic.
Have a look, Jamie.
Old Moffat looks a treat.
I'll bet.
Hey, there's somebody else up there, hikers.
How many?
4. Shorts, Russacks the lot.
All right, that's them, Jamie. They're all bobbies. Every one.
What?
Well, what did you think? A bulldozer?
Well, you learn something every day, don't you?
We've upset him, George.
I'm not doing him any harm. He's got brains. The experience will be good for him.
Be a good bobby eventually, will he?
Well, eventually.
I hope your rabbit burns.
Early night for once. Do us all good.
Not so early either. Sunset already.
Wonderful sky.
Too red. Reminds me of... I'll put the light on.
Oh, no, wait. Let me draw the curtains first.
I know what you mean. You feel like a target.
You can be seen a long way from here. Right.
That's better.
Not that they'd use anything as simple as a bullet. Accidental death, that's their line.
Something horrible's happened to Mr. Harris and he won't talk about it. You'd think I was a child.
She's still edgy.
I'm not surprised. She must have a heart like a bull to be here at all.
I wish she wasn't. I tried to persuade her to stop at the sergeant's, but she was getting all worked up. I mean, you know how she was last night when I was trying to question her.
Yes. To be honest, I'd be happier if both you and Mrs. Hewitt were staying with the sergeant.
Orders are to keep surface appearances as normal as possible. I mean, look a bit odd if we just quit the house. Might set somebody thinking.
I suppose so. Well, I must be off.
Well, you're welcome to a bit of supper before you go.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I must go. Come and see me off, and bolt everything behind me. Quite dark already.
What about you? I mean, you must be high on that hate list, remember? Now, don't loiter.
I won't. Good night, Jamie. Say good night to Mrs. Hewitt for me. What's that?
No, don't go. Come in the house, quick.
The dog?
Or dogs, yes. Harris had several. Hey, you're not going out there. None of us are. These bolts are staying fastened. I haven't got the lock fixed yet, but these bolts should hold.
You don't think it might be just a stray?
I'd hate to gamble on that and lose. I saw Harris afterwards.
That sounded nearer.
You can bet on it. They're coming this way. I don't know how they're being handled or how they make them so savage, but we're about to come under siege, Father. Now, we'd better check the defences. I bet that damn phone's dead again.
Well?
Lifeless. Check all the doors and windows down here, will you? I'll go upstairs and fetch Pam. I'd feel better if we're all in the same room.
I agree.
And while I'm up there, I'll shut everything up. I don't know why, and the damn things can't fly, but I'll shut them anyway.
You do that. I'll see to things downstairs, then we'll settle in here. It might be a long night.
What are they doing now?
Can't see anything my side at the moment.
Nor on mine just now.
I was hoping they might have gone.
Yes, I know. Gets on the nerves.
Which is just what they're after, of course.
Aye. We're safe as long as we sit tight in here.
Do we have to just sit here in the dark?
Yes, we do.
But there must be something.
No, that's what they want us to try. Some cowboy caper out there.
Here it comes again.
God!
Thanks. Is she still asleep?
I think so, at last. What are they doing? I think I felt better when they were making a row.
It's more than an hour since we heard anything, but they'll still be there. Don't worry about that.
Look, why don't you have a nap? We can take shifts. Not a kid. Not out there. Not amongst the... Well, what's out there?
What is it? God, no.
That was episode 4 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. Listen to the next episode of Alan Ayckbourn's production of The Events at Black Tor. The things that emerge with the dark. The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 5, The Things That Emerge with the Dark, in which the trap is sprung and Jamie receives a shock.
They can't hurt him. Surely they can't, not to a child.
It's a trick.
Of course it's a trick to get us outside. But it's a good one, isn't it? The best. It's perfect. We've no choice. We've just got to go. We can't leave him out there. We're not amongst those fiends.
Aren't there any limits? Oh, Lord, is there nothing they won't do? He must be nearly out of his mind. Out there like that in the dark.
What are you doing? Jamie, don't go out.
Maybe they'll bargain. You out there! Listen!
You can't bargain with evil.
We've got to do something, Father. Listen! Can you hear me? Don't harm the child. Tell us what you want, but don't harm the child. Can you hear me? Don't harm the child.
It's useless.
Bastards.
Let's have this window shut.
What's out there, Father, that they can behave like this?
I'm beginning to wonder.
Jamie, we've got to help the poor little mite.
I don't know how, but we can't
You're not going outside.
I don't fancy it, but we've got no choice. Look, if you'll take the poker, I've got my staff.
And what are we going to do? Have you seen them? Do you know exactly where they are?
Can you see anything, Pan?
They're not on the road. Not at this side, anyway.
Are you sure?
Well, there's nothing moving.
But they could be in the shadows.
I suppose so, yes.
They'll move if we go out to them.
They'll do that, all right.
Look, maybe a quick dash will do it. I'll go first. You cover the rear, Father. Pam, you bolt the door behind us.
I can't do that.
Look, you've got to, in case we haven't got time to get back. Use your loaf. We can't leave you here behind an unlocked door.
No, and we're not going to.
Come on now, Father. Don't get in the way.
I'm not moving, Jamie.
Get out of the way, Father, please.
I mean it.
Look, this is stupid.
Yes, it is.
Why? I mean, why?
Because the more I hear that noise, the less I believe that there is a child out there.
How can you say that?
It's too pat. Altogether too well timed.
I know what you're getting at, but it's a hell of a risk. I mean, it's hardly a thing we dare make a mistake about. Suppose we're wrong. Have we the right to gamble?
No, we haven't. It's
not
ridiculous.
we, Jamie. Me. It's my decision. I'm not going to let you go out there.
Somebody's got
so
to.
you can rest your conscience on that.
That would be despicable. It's got to be a joint decision or nothing.
You're both crazy. What's the matter with you? You've heard him crying.
Shut up, Pam.
Listen to him. Just listen. I won't shut up.
They mustn't be allowed to win, these people. Not in any way. Don't you see, Mrs. Hewitt? The most vicious weapon of evil is its ability to insinuate itself where there was once confidence and trust. Even love can be undermined.
She was only feeling for the child.
I know. Much credit to her.
It sounds so real. If only I could be sure.
Well, that at least we can be sure of. Try and get her to rest, Jamie. It's still a long time until daylight.
Another cup, anyone?
Not for me, thanks. I think I'd better just have a look out of the window.
They're pretty quiet.
Let's hope they stay that way.
Obliging of them to let us have the tea in peace.
Maybe this is plan 3. Keep us guessing, waiting for the noise to begin again.
Oh, there may be something in that. The silence is a bit deafening. I keep waiting for it to explode.
I can't see anything this side.
Nor this.
Is it my imagination, or is it a bit lighter?
Can't see much difference here.
No.
Savage! 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 Savage!
It's close.
It sounded like it. It can't be.
Get her back in the corner, quick.
God, it's in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen.
How?
That inner door won't hold it.
Savage! Savage! Savage!
Keep still. Absolutely still. Where's that small chair?
To your left a bit.
When I move, get her behind you. Cover her and stay like that. Is that clear?
What do you...
Don't argue, do it. You ready?
Yeah! Oh, no, no! He'll never hold it. Not with that little chap. God, he's down!
Oh, he's grappling with it.
Father, are you all right? Help him, Jamie.
Father.
It's all right. It's all right now. It's over. Listen, strange how ludicrous and unfrightening that sounds now.
Scared to death.
We're going to win, Jamie. We're going to beat them.
Let's tell them just that. Can you hear me? You out there? You've lost! You've lost! We're gonna beat you yet!
Savage! 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 Savage!
Drop dead!
Savage!
Not very practical, but I feel better. Hey, it is getting lighter, you know.
Oh, God, can we have the house lights on now, do you think?
Yes, let's have them on. Let's have them all on. They'll have to scarper soon now. It's nearly morning. Well, how about that, Father? I suppose they disappear in a puff of smoke at the first ray of daylight. Switch them on, Pam.
Oh, it's good to get out of that darkness.
God, look at the size of that dog. How the hell did he get in? Hey, Father, just a small point, but well, whose blood is that trickling down your fingers?
Oh, God, he's hurt.
I rather suspect it's mine.
Get some hot water, Pam. Well, why didn't you tell us? I mean, why let me go waffling on, shouting defiance through the windows like a great twit?
Oh, do you know, I wasn't absolutely sure. There were so many sensations.
Yeah, let's have a look. Come on, roll up these damn great sleeves.
Oh.
Oh, Father. We'll have to tie something round that.
The sleeves were a great help, really. They took a lot of the impact from the teeth. It's funny, but the arm didn't seem to matter at the time. You think only of the face.
So you strangled him?
Well, let's say I couldn't think of more subtle reactions.
God, he's a big brute. It's a good job you are, too. Well, don't ever turn lawless, do you hear? I wouldn't fancy those great mitts of yours round my throat. It's not the same dog that Harris got, incidentally. It's a different colour. And they must have some others, too. Well, one other at least. Here, does that feel too tight?
Yes, it does a bit.
Oh, then it'll do. Here, now, you come on into the kitchen. That water should be ready. So you tell me, Sergeant, with 2 bolts on the door and the window secured, how did it get in?
You sure they were secure?
Oh, leave off, Sarge. We were expecting trouble, remember? I fastened them myself.
So now what? A phantom canine strikes.
Well, you tell me how it got in.
Well, not through the keyhole, Jamie.
Oh, very funny. I know it was real enough, so does Father Probert. You should see his arm. But the fact remains, there we were behind locked doors, and yet all of a sudden there was this dog. It's put years on me, I can tell you.
Look, do me a favour, get some sleep. We're all going to have a very busy night.
I'm all right.
Oh, sure. How much sleep have you had in the last 2 nights?
Enough.
For the normal type of emergencies we're used to, maybe it would be enough. But this isn't normal, is it? You've had your nerves strung up tight until you don't know what's what. Look, go and join that wife of yours. There's nothing you can do till tonight anyway. Then there'll be plenty.
How can you settle when you don't understand things? It's like an appetite.
Is it? Well, they tell us those are things we've got to keep under control. You ask your friar friend, you know, the dog strangler. It's marvellous what they got in reserve, some of these men of peace.
You're in a right mood this afternoon, aren't you? You're as keyed up as I am. You old faker.
Bumph.
It's nerves. That's why you're so bitchy.
All right, 10 out of 10 for observation.
Well, why didn't you say so? You don't have to pretend with me.
Don't get cocky.
Well, what is it then?
It's just a waiting, I think. Be all right when we get moving.
Isn't it going right, is that it?
Oh, the machinery is moving. You know the machine, it's cumbersome, but eventually it grinds exceeding small. We'll turn them all over with a bit of luck.
God, I hope so.
Me too. Because there's obviously some ripe fruits in this lot. What they intend doing to the old lady and what they did to Harris, try to do to you.
We can forget Harris. We shall never prove that one.
That's just it. How much else are we going to have to forget because we can't prove it? There's too many holes at the moment, too many gaps. Even a bad lawyer could make us look silly.
But surely, if we take them tonight, right in the middle of what they intend to do to Mrs. Leslie...
Oh, that'll help a lot, naturally. Mainly, it'll help Mrs. Leslie. Maybe it's me being greedy. I don't like to think of any of this lot ever being in circulation again, that's all. Now stop nattering and get some sleep. I've got to get into division.
What for?
The conference. There's going to be after blasted force out tonight. All on tiptoe as well.
Superintendent speaking. Yes? Oh, hello, Doc. What have you got? I see. At least 2, is it? Well, don't worry about that. By tomorrow you should have all the bits you need. No, definitely not before then. We can't go tramping round there till it's finished. That's why we only sent you those few bits and pieces. All right, it doesn't matter. Not yet, anyway. Doc! I don't care what sex they were, not yet. Today it doesn't matter. To be quite honest, you've given us all we needed from you at this stage. When you gave us a definite identification as human, that's all we needed to start things moving. Come tomorrow, though, I shall want to know the lot. Sex, age, height, weight, you know. And if you can get the names and addresses as well, we shall be obliged. Of course you will. You'll have lots more bits, a lorry load maybe. We'll do the job properly then. All right, right. So long, Doc. He's a good man, that, but a bit formal. But a lot's going to depend on what he can tell us, I'm afraid. There's a shortage of evidence, Sergeant. You see, if I say it like that, it sounds like your fault.
Can we get round it, sir?
Well, we'd better. Anyway, one thing at a time. Let's get tonight's little programme sorted out first. Here's a question for you, Sergeant, and think about it. Don't just waffle me an answer because I'm the superintendent. About tonight. Are they going to be there?
Well, looking at it from their angle, there's every reason why they should be. By their calendar, it's a big night. They've got a body on ice which they can't keep indefinitely, and tonight's suitable for a sacrifice.
Ah, more than just suitable, according to Father Probert. He was telling me yesterday how he believed that tonight they'd try to raise the devil. I mean, literally that.
Every reason then, sir, why they'll be there tonight.
Aye, every reason but one.
What's that then, sir?
A nosy PC and a nosy priest. And yet they've gone out of their way to antagonise those two. Look at last night's performance. Practically inviting attention to themselves. Now why? It's either very cheeky, very cocky indeed, or it's very careless. And I don't believe they'll be careless. It worries me, it just doesn't fit.
It could be cockiness, sir. As long as they don't see any extra police activity, they know that Father Probert and PC Hewitt are interested in them, but they must know also how little in the way of evidence they've got.
Aye, well, they're right there.
Well, the big thing is, sir, they don't know we've learned about the woman they intend to kill.
And you think they're satisfied that so far suspicion's gone no further than the PC and the priest?
It must be that, sir. And providing we're quiet enough tonight, we stand a chance of taking them.
Oh, we'll be quiet enough. And I hope you're right. And supposing you are and we do take them, what then? What have we got that we can hammer them with? Come in here a minute, will you, Chief Inspector? We'll ask the expert. I've had him on it all day.
I hope he's found more than I can see.
I doubt it. The trained legal mind is a bit of a Mary Ellen when it comes to chancing its arm. Come on in.
Oh, good morning, sir. I've been checking our position.
Oh, it's all right, Chief. You know the sergeant here. It's all happening on his patch, so you can lift the security.
Oh.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Now, what have you got?
Well, sir, that depends on what assumptions you wish me to make. If you don't wish me to make any, then I can foresee things like cemeteries damage in, disorderly conduct in, death, false statements, dead bodies disinterment of, at the very best, abduction.
Abduction? Back it in, Chief. I want something a damn sight more lethal than that. I don't want these articles loose around here any more after this.
The rest is pure speculation, sir.
Go on, man, speculate.
Well, assuming a successful conclusion to tonight's affair, and I would recommend rescuing the intended victim at the last practical moment, by then, the ritual pattern should be pointing clearly towards sacrifice, and the criminal intent ought to be provable. In that event, a prosecution for conspiracy to murder becomes a distinct possibility.
It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Good God, can't we find a felony? What about attempted murder?
Oh, I'd question whether a court would construe the ritual pattern itself as amounting to an actual attempt to murder, since that offence usually requires some physical violence to have been offered in furtherance of the attempt. We can hardly afford to wait until that happens in this case, although it would unquestionably strengthen our position.
In fact, if we let them kill the old girl, we're laughing.
Well, there's something of a conflict of interest between Mrs. Leslie and ourselves on that point.
Come on, Chief Inspector, push it a bit further. There's got to be more.
Only if the pathologist can help. If we can provide him with remains from the site and he can testify to deaths that were not natural. But even then, without the corroboration of some strong testimony, ideally by confessions from some of the group involved, well, I shouldn't care to be prosecuting counsel.
So, if they know enough to keep their mouths shut, we're in trouble.
I'm afraid that's about accurate.
They'll not talk, sir. For a start, they'll be too scared. They know best of all what happens to those who do, and people like this Belias bloke, well, they'll be too fly.
Aye, that one. He's a genuine registered MD, incidentally. That much is legal. I'm having inquiries circulated. I don't expect he'll have any form, but you can never tell. Oh, come on. Don't get depressed, Sergeant. There'll be something. The Chief Inspector here is professionally committed to looking on the black side. We can't have girlish false optimism from the legal department.
One pales at the thought.
We'll turn him over, Sergeant. One way or another, we'll root him out.
Will we, sir? Just transplanted or really torn out by the roots?
I intend to make it the latter.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So do I.
Then let's get the ball rolling, shall we? I want sub-divisional inspectors, road traffic inspector in my office now. Oh, and there's a wireless bod from county in the building somewhere. Find him as well. Now. And then get on to both neighbouring divisions and find out from the superintendents how many men I can expect. Come in, Father. Glad you could manage it. How's that arm?
Oh, I wouldn't miss tonight, Superintendent. The arm will heal, thank you.
Good. Well, come and sit with the sergeant here. Keep him down. He keeps wanting something to do.
Hello, Father. I must admit I'm fed up with this waiting.
Oh, I know just how you feel, Sergeant. I've been watching the clock, too.
Well, you can both just sit there and watch me stick these little flags in the map. You see, I have got something to do. Privilege of rank, you know. It's not energetic, but it does make you feel a bit like Napoleon. Who was that?
Spider 3, sir. Reporting Spider 5 now nearly reached the summit.
Oh, aye, somebody else fed up with nothing to do, making unnecessary reports. Spider 5 at the moment, Father, is climbing Black Tor with a damn great set on his back. He'll be able to look right down on them. They'll not expect anybody up there.
I shouldn't think they would. It's sheer rock face from above that altar site.
Aye, he volunteered. It's his hobby. Some idiot from the next division. You know, they get younger, these bobbies. I'm sure I was never as young as that, even at school. We've not sent him up before now, in case he freezes to death. We've got the rest of the area cordoned, as you can see from the map.
You seem fairly thick on the ground.
It's as big a turnout as I can remember. Whatever goes out or comes in, we shall know. That is, if they use the roads. I'm assuming that broomsticks are out.
You can't get the bristles, you know.
Hello, Webb. Spider 5 calling.
You turn it up a bit, son.
Sir?
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 5 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, Spider 5. Receiving you strength 4. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. I'm in position. I'm in position. Excellent view, I say again. Excellent view. Over.
Just listen at it. He thinks he's up there for the scenery. Tell him to keep his head down.
Hello, Spider 5. Your message received and understood. Now maintain maximum concealment. I say again, maximum concealment. Over and out.
Hello, Webb. Wilco, out.
He's done well making that climb.
Ah, well, if he gets down in one piece, he'll no doubt pick up a commendation. Well, that's the last flag. The web's complete. All we've got to do now is wait for the dark.
And for the things that emerge with the dark.
Get that cadet to get some tea in here.
Have another one, Father.
I'm smoking far too many, but I will. I shall regret this indiscipline come next Lent. Is Jamie going to miss the party, then?
No, he stays in the house just long enough to make things seem ordinary, that's all. Pretends to go to bed, you know, that sort of thing. We'll pick him up when we begin to close in.
And Mrs. Hewitt?
My missus should have her tucked up in bed by now.
Hello, Webb. Spider 1 calling.
Aye, this could be it.
Let's all hear it, son.
Sir.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 1 calling. Spider 1 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, Spider 1. Hello, Spider 1. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. Suspect has just left his premises in grey, unlettered van, believed Thames trader. Registered number, Banjo X-Ray Fox 132. I say again, Banjo X-Ray Fox 132. Heading north. Message ends. Over.
That's the Undertaker. Heading north. That'll be here. This road, straight for the Traveller's Rest. Tell him OK, maintain position.
Hello.
That grey van will be for Mrs. Leslie. It looks like the game's on. We've started.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 4 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, Spider 4. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. Rover saloon car, believe 5 occupants, just entered Traveller's Rest yard. Message ends. Over.
That makes 4 vehicles in there now, including the Undertaker's plain van. Ask him if he can see what they're doing.
Hello, Spider 4. Your message received and understood. Have you observed actions of occupants of these vehicles? Over.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Van driver observed to enter premises, not yet returned. Occupants of other vehicles are still in their cars. They're just sitting there. Over.
OK, tell him to maintain observations.
Hello, Spider 4.
No doubt about it now. This is it. They're waiting for Belias. I shall feel a lot better when he's safely under our noses. Have you got someone near the home, Superintendent?
Yes, Spider 2. From where he is, you can see the drive. He'll know when Belias leaves.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb.
Hello,
Spider
this could be it now.
Calling. Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 5 calling. Spider 5 calling. Message for you. Over.
What the hell's he want? They can't be at the Tor yet.
He sounds frozen.
Hello, Spider 5. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. Nothing to report on Black Tor.
Over.
Oh, get him off the air.
Poor lad, you're not going to keep him up there till daylight, are you?
It's a summer night, remember? Night of the summer festival.
Not at that height. No wonder he felt he had to call. He must think the world's empty.
Ah, we'll get him some lights up and help him down as soon as we can. He'll be all right. Think of the stars. Then there'll be a moon later.
He's got enormous guts climbing up there.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 2
Hello.
calling.
That's it.
Spider 2 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, Spider 2. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. Bentley Saloon car, registration number not known, left the old people's home at 22:45 hours. Proceeded north on B6149. Message ends. Over.
Oh, that's 5 minutes ago. I bet he was trying to call us when young Mountain Goat was on the air.
If it is Belias, and who else in a Bentley? He'll be nearly at the Travellers' by now.
Tell him to resume watch.
Hello.
Do we begin moving in now, Superintendent?
No, not until that car turns into the Travellers, and then only to the second positions. I want them all on the tour, nicely preoccupied before we really close in.
Hello, Webb. Spider 4 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, Spider 4. Pass your message. Over.
Hello, Webb. Message begins. Bentley Saloon car, registration number not known, just entered the Travellers' Rest Yard. Message ends. Over.
OK, son, give them all the word to move to the second stations. I shall be in the car if you want me. Come on, Father. Sergeant, let's get on the way.
Hello, all stations. Hello, all stations. Webb calling.
It's a genuine democratic touch. I hope you're suitably impressed, Father. Superintendents didn't give lifts to PCs in my day.
I confess I suspect your motive.
I could have followed on the bike, sir. You didn't have
Constable, I didn't pick you up so you could natter all the way. You just sit quietly in the back and concentrate. I believe you're a cynic, Father. You think I've done it for some mundane reason. Like I might be needing his local knowledge.
The idea did flitter across.
Hello, Webb. Hello, Webb. Spider 5 calling. Spider 5 calling. Message for you. Over.
Hello, young head in the cloud sounds like he's onto something.
Hello, Spider 5. Pass your message. Over. Hello, Webb. They're here. Message begins. They're here. They're below me now. They've left the cars. I can see them. In robes. They're lighting torches. A queer colour. A dark flame. Over. Oh, message ends.
Hello, Webb. Superintendent here. I heard all that. No need to relay. Out. Some message. What's he on about? Dark flames.
They use a kind of pitch to give a dark flame. It's blue, really. Which is as black as they can get it. Black being their liturgical colour.
Oh, you live and learn. I thought he was going potty. Put your foot down, driver.
We move in closer.
We will. He's waiting till that fire of theirs gets good and bright. With the light in their eyes, they're not going to notice us. Meantime, keep your head down.
They're beginning to circle the fire.
They look like the Ku Klux Klan.
They're certainly no more appetizing.
They don't all dress alike, then?
No. They have their ranks and hierarchies.
There's one there without a hood at all, look.
It's a woman.
Hey, up. There's a signal. Come on, let's go. Now watch me and stop when I stop. Relax. We can see from here. No point in going any nearer till they produce Mrs. Leslie.
I can't see any signs of her, can you?
Not yet.
What a mob. You wouldn't dream, would you, not in this day and age? I mean, what a way to get your kicked.
Distorted, isn't it? Even their movements seem vile.
Yeah, and look, there's that one without a hood again. Gosh, she only looks a bit of a lass. How did they...
What the hell are you doing? Get down.
Jamie, what's the matter?
Get down, lad, get down.
Let me go.
Let go of me. What's the matter with him?
Oh, Lord. Look. Look who it is.
It's Pam. It's Pam.
That was episode 5 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. Listen to the last episode of Alan Ayckbourn's production of The Events at Black Tor, The Deepest Dark. The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clarke. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 6, The Deepest Dark, in which Probert and Jamie triumph and darkness is dispelled.
God! What's Pam doing there? She can't be one of them. It's not possible.
Steady, lad. Keep your head down. We'll find out all about it in a minute. We'll get her when we get the rest.
Let me be the one. Leave her to me, Sergeant.
Yeah, all right. But keep down and wait for the signal.
At least we can guess now how the dog got into the house last night.
No!
She went into the kitchen to make some tea, remember?
No, she wouldn't.
She must have drawn the bolts then.
But they were still fastened afterwards. I checked.
Because she fastened them again. Don't you remember? You were fixing my arm. She went back into the kitchen to get some water.
I don't believe it.
Can you believe any of it? These are English hills, an English summer night. Yet look at that lot round the fire. Where do we stop believing?
What do I do?
What is there to do except go on trusting her? You've got to.
That's right, lad. Now wait until you find out. Hey, up. Look, there's something happening at the fire.
Why doesn't he give the signal?
Because it isn't time yet. He knows what he's doing. He has to wait until they're working up to the sacrifice. We've got to take them almost in the act.
They're carrying something.
No prizes for guessing what's in that bundle.
No, indeed. Damn it, they'll smother her wrapped up like that.
They'll not do that. They want her alive. It'll not be long now, Jamie. That's Mrs. Leslie they've got laid on that slab.
Pray God she's still drugged.
Amen. Can't see any movement, though. So it does seem likely.
I've lost Pam. I can't see her.
They're forming up round the altar. She'll be among them.
That'll be Wallace then in the fancy robes.
I imagine so. How long will it take us to get down to them?
Us lot down here a minute or so, but the boys above should be on them as soon as the whistle goes.
And they'll get Pam first. You said I could.
You'll get her as soon as we get up there. And when you've got her, hold on to her.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
They're beginning.
What the hell are they doing that for?
There you see the essence of the rites. A blasphemous travesty of the liturgy. Those altar vessels, incidentally, are not designed for holding wine.
No, I can guess what.
There. Did you see? That's their interpretation of genuflection. A deliberate, obscene parody. It's getting rather near the time for that signal.
What instrument will they use for the...
Some sort of blade. They require quantities of blood.
Well, that's what the super will be waiting for. To catch Wallace with it in his hand.
That's running things a bit close.
There's a lot at stake, legally.
This'll be it coming up, then. With the two acolytes on the cushion, he'll take it and raise it first, offering it to their sickening deities. Now! Come on, come on.
Go on then, lad. Go and get her.
Get that one with a knife. Keep him away from that bundle on the slab. You three, yes, you man, get to that altar. Don't let anybody near and don't touch that bundle.
Sergeant! Sergeant! Tell this fool to take his hands off her.
Jamie, he's only doing his job.
What's the on about, Sergeant? I was only taking her off with the rest.
She stops here.
Now, shut up, Jamie. It's all right, son. You can leave her with me. I'll see to it.
All right by me. You're the sergeant.
I can't get near the altar. Your superintendent's declared it a prohibited area.
She won't look at me.
Won't, Jamie, or can't? Lend me your torch, Sergeant.
What? Oh, here. They're bringing Wallace in. I was beginning to think he'd nipped off.
Look at her eyes, Jamie. She's drugged silly.
How the hell did they get her away from my missus?
No doubt we'll find that out later. In the meantime, rest easier, Jamie. She doesn't look like someone who's here by her own act of will. At the moment, I say she hadn't even got a will.
What about that business with the boats?
It'll keep, Jamie. Just look after her. She's had a rough time, worse than any of us, except perhaps that poor Mrs. Leslie.
Aye, keep her warm, lad, and take that fancy dress off her. Wrap her in something else, and take her nearer the fire.
Bring that man over here. If it is a man under that hood. Now then, mister, let's have a look what you are planning to do with that knife.
I must warn you, Inspector, that there will be repercussions.
The rank is Superintendent.
Repercussions, Superintendent. This intrusion into a private antiquarian gathering, not to mention the rough handling...
Ah, we'll see how private. Unwrap that bundle, Constable. Quite an assembly you've got here. What do you say it was?
Antiquarian, Superintendent. All quite legal. You find us celebrating a very ancient festival.
He's a cool devil.
Sir!
What is it, Constable?
I think you'd better have a look, sir. What's in here, sir?
What the hell? It's a... That's right, Superintendent. A goat. A black goat. I assure you it's the customary offering on these occasions.
Hellfire, they've been leading us up the garden path.
You appear surprised. Were you expecting something else? The animal's quite dead, of course. We no longer practice with quite the same exuberance as our forefathers. You will find it's been humanely slaughtered. We wouldn't care to contravene any regulations.
All right. You've been very smart, very clever. And that's a nice line in patter you've got there. But you're nicked, matey. You and all the rest of this naughty club.
Good man, that's the way.
Now get that hood off. Let's have a look at you. Do it yourself or have it torn off.
Very well, Superintendent. If you insist, of course. But you really are digging a pit for yourself.
Let me worry about that.
There.
That's not Belias.
Oh, no. How wrong can we get?
I must warn you that anything you say from this point onwards may be taken down in writing and may be given in evidence. Palmer.
Sir?
I want the pathologist. Try his home, try the hospital. Get him down here tonight. And tell him to bring his tools. He can work in the mortuary. Now, don't tell him that we haven't got anything for him to work on yet. If that digging crew don't fall asleep on their shovels, that should be taken care of by the time he gets here. Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
Have you got a mortuary key?
Yes, sir.
Right, we'll get somebody to get it opened up then. Get him some water on, plenty of light.
Right, sir. Palmer, you can ring from the house. Come on.
Right, Sid. Let's have that landlady in here. Unless we can make somebody cough, you tell me how we're going to be able to help that old girl.
She'll not talk, Father. She's too hard-faced. Besides, none of them will. Not with Belias loose. He's been a jump ahead all the time.
I was hoping someone might be peeved enough at the way he's left them to take the rap to tell us about it.
What rap? Oh, come on, wake up, Father. Unless he gets knocked off, unless we can prove the link between the home and this little lot, they're going to walk off free.
Oh, surely not. I mean, that night Jamie and I saw the undertaker leaving the home.
What did you see? An empty box? What kind of evidence is that?
So an old lady has to die a terrible death.
If we have to wait for the proper channels, yes.
Is there some other way?
There might be. Don't ask me. Just answer me this. Will she still be alive? Is there still time?
If he wants her as part of an attempt to conjure up some horror better left alone, then I think she has about an hour of life left. In this sense, the witching hour is not midnight, but the deeper darkness.
There's one chance. If, and it's a big if, we can scare somebody more than Belias himself can.
How on earth can we do that?
I've got the undertaker in a cell that we don't use much now, away from the others. Wait for me. I'm going to get the dog handler and his mutt. Give me 5 minutes. If it's going to work, it'll have worked me then.
Well, it's about time. How long do you think you're going to be able to hold us like this?
Shut up, Undertaker.
Don't you talk to me like that. I know what's what. Hey, don't you lay a finger on me.
Sit down.
I'll stand. I want to see a solicitor. You can't shove me around.
Why don't you get off your dignity? How much do you think you got anyway since we took your belt and shoelaces?
Yeah, all right. Have your laugh, go on. But you'll regret it because I'll have you. I'm not some tuckney-halfpenny tea leaf you can shove around, you know. I'm a business member of this community, respected.
You're a slag! And you're as bent as any hook on this manor. You're a receiver. And if there was any opportunity, you'd be a ponce.
You done it now. Oh, I've got you now. You know, you're finished, you are. Washed up. Oh, you're done.
Pull your trousers up.
I've got you now. Oh, boy. That was libel, that was libel.
That was slander. Libel has to be in writing.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, mate, you're through.
You need a witness. Look around, Undertaker. Where's your witness? We're all alone.
Right. I can make a statement on oath.
Just you and me, in his isolated cell.
You lay a finger on me and I'll scream the bloody place down, I will.
But it won't do any good.
No, but it'll make me feel better.
Nobody will hear you, remember?
Now look, forget what I said about making trouble. That was just talk. There are no hard feelings. I mean, you've lost, that's all. And this mob's too clever. You'll not find anybody talking out of turn. Well, it's nothing personal.
It's a bit personal for Mrs. Leslie, though, ain't it?
I don't know what you mean.
You took her to the Traveller's Rest. But the thing we're really interested in is where is she now? Where did you take her from there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You must have an idea how little time she's got left, so you'll understand why this interview can't be gentle.
Oh, God, Sergeant, look, can't you see? You can't do anything to me half as bad as they would.
Oh, there's one flaw in that argument, Undertaker. It assumes that we stick to our own methods. But supposing we don't? Supposing I borrow one of theirs?
Like what?
Listen.
No.
We found the dog that got Harris.
You wouldn't.
I saw what it did.
You'll never get away with it.
I'd hate to condemn any man to what it did to Harris.
You're crazy.
Well, it'd be an accident, you see. I mean, they brought it in and shoved it in this old cell, never expecting it to be occupied.
Oh, God, not Sergeant.
Tell us, man, tell us. Now, if we can clean it up, then there'll be nobody for you to be scared of. Now, where did you take her?
I don't know what you mean. Leave me alone.
We know the words. The words that dog's trained to respond to.
I'm telling you, I don't know what you mean.
It's savage, isn't it? Savage. 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 Savage.
All right.
Savage.
All right.
Savage.
All right.
Savage. When did you take her from the Travellers?
This afternoon.
How?
He telephoned.
Elias?
That's right. He told me to pick up a van. He had it all ready for me. He told me where to take her.
Where?
Where? Grassingly. The car park.
What?
Honest. Leave her there in the van. Lock it up. He had another set of keys. I came home on the bus.
What sort was it?
A black Dormobile.
Number. Number.
I don't know, honest.
Where's he going to take her from there?
I don't know. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me, would he? I mean, that was the whole point of leaving it in the car park, now, wasn't it? So nobody'd know where he went.
Damn. What was in it? Anything? Oh, come on, man.
There was an invalid chair, you know, one of them fold-up things.
Anything else?
Some tools.
What kind of tools?
Digging tools, a shovel and a pick.
Well, we can guess what they're for, can't we? Where did you pick it up in the first place?
The same place they kept the dog, the old quarry.
If you've held anything back, I'll feed you to that dog, so help me. I can't see what good the map's going to be, Father. It's another dead end.
We'll have to confine ourselves to a 10-mile area. There just isn't time for anything else. Look, you take this side of Grassingley, I'll take the other.
Right, what are we looking for?
The conventional signs for places of worship. The more remote, the better.
Ah, there's one here.
A bit near the village.
Ah, they all are. Either in a town or summit. There's nothing out on the moors. Not in that line. We'll have to look further afield. Oh, I'm getting spots before the eyes.
Age, Sergeant. We shall all be years older after this. Like this ancient monument here. The young will wonder how we came to be what we are. Good Lord! That's it! It's been here all the time. And we've just been looking for crosses and steeples and things. Look! Look!
Ancient monument, yeah, I saw that.
Look at the name! DeVoe Abbey. And look at it. It's miles from anywhere. Sergeant, this is it. It has to be. That's where he'll be. At the high altar. Come on. Let's get the superintendent. There might still be a chance.
Wait, Father, wait, not that way. It'll take too long. You'll have to explain everything to him. He'll be dubious. He's been twice bitten tonight already.
Well, what else can we do?
Ourselves, we can do it. We can stop him. Father, I've seen this devil wriggling all night. If we try the proper channels again, we're going to lose him.
Can we do it?
I'll stop him, I mean it. I'll stop him.
Come on, then.
Get in the dog handler's van. He's the only other one we'll need. Not far now.
I should hope not. It was criminal to stop at the quarry like we did.
We weren't gone 2 minutes, Father.
You know how important every second is.
Trust me.
I'm sorry. I'm in your hands, Sergeant. You must do what you think best. It's just that I felt you could have silenced their killer dog on the return journey.
Your own animal doesn't seem to like travelling, Constable.
Oh, he likes to be on the go, sir. And we are moving a bit.
Keep it quiet another minute, Alex. We'll be there.
Look, there's the sign ahead. DeVoe Abbey. Turn here. How near dare we go in this thing?
Oh, beyond the next bend, I'll cut the engine and lights. We'll glide as far as you'll go.
It looks the right sort of place. It's certainly out of the way.
Easy, boy.
Probably a Cistercian foundation. They always went for these secluded valleys.
There it is. Look.
Ah.
It's creepy. It's moonlight, I expect.
It's beautiful. It's we who bring our own evil.
That looks like the road in down there.
Easy, boy. Steady.
Can you see anything yet?
Not yet, but this will be the refectory. That'll be the church over there, the tallest of the remaining walls. The high altar will be at the far end. He'll be there.
Can we rush him?
We daren't. If he decided to kill her, he could do it before we could stop him.
Providing he hasn't already. Alex.
Yeah?
You stay here and keep the dog quiet. If I flash a torch, come running.
Right, Sergeant.
Let's go, Father.
We'll work our way round by this wall. Can you smell it?
What is it?
Some kind of incense. There he is.
Those black flames again, look. We're in time. She's in the wheelchair. Oh, look at the way she's strapped in like a chicken on the block.
There's a gap in the wall down there. We can get a bit nearer.
There. Right. God, did you see his face in that firelight? Like a gargoyle.
Something from the Middle Ages, yes. It's all on his features. Avarice, lust, fear.
Yes, that's right. Fear.
And with good reason. He knows best what terrors he's encouraging. That's the reason for all that paint around him. Those signs and sigils. Their defenses. It's not just rigmarole, it's his lifeline. Notice he has Mrs. Leslie within the circle as well. He daren't step outside, not now the ceremony's begun.
I thought the things, whatever they are, he's calling up. I thought they came as servants.
Yes, but reluctantly. They're sullen and treacherous. If he makes a mistake, they'll destroy him.
Do you think there's anything there?
Look at him. He does. He knows he's on the very edge of the pit.
Oh, it's out of my depth, this is. Not police work, this. There's no machinery for such as him. Yet somehow he's got to be stopped. We've got to get her away from him.
Once outside that circle, she's safe. He daren't follow.
Not even then?
Not for any reason. There's nothing outside that circle he fears half as much as the things that are trying to get in.
Right. Hey, look. Look at that wall behind him. The ledge up there. How's the arm? Could you make it up there?
Yes, I can do that.
I was thinking, if you were to appear there in those robes of yours against the sky, it should give him an hell of a shock. And while you're holding his attention, I'll make a dive for that wheelchair. It's mostly grass all the way by the looks of it, and by the time he hears me on the stones, I shall be there.
Sergeant, when you make your rush, don't stop moving, whatever happens. Keep your eyes off him. Look at the woman, all the time. That way your mind will be focused on your errand of mercy. Now, it's important. Do you understand?
Yes, Father.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. I'm on my way. The Lord be with you.
She's all right, Alex. Listen to her breathe. She's all right. Good. Take her to the van. We'll see she's well wrapped up.
Leave the dog with me.
Now, look, if you're determined to go through with it, let me give you a hand.
Take her, Alex. That's an order.
Aye. I gathered it would be. Well, keep him on a firm lead, then, till you're ready.
He's still in the ring. You can make your arrest, Sergeant.
Go back to the van, Father.
Am I suddenly useless, Sergeant? He's still dangerous.
Please, Father. The woman needs you.
Well, in that case, of course. But be careful. Let the dog take any risk.
Can you hear me? I'm a police officer. I gather you're not impressed. I must warn you that anything you say may be given in evidence. I must warn you that you're not obliged to say anything. I must warn you that I am unleashing the dog. I must warn you that this is the animal you yourself had trained. I must warn you that he's savage! 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 Savage!
It's good to feel the wind up here. I shall miss it.
You'll come back?
Oh, it's not likely, though perhaps. Where are those two?
Oh, they're playing hide-and-seek with that gormless pup of theirs.
This is good to see them like that again. Getting that pup for her was a stroke of genius, Sergeant.
I wondered for a while if they'd ever want to face a dog again. Mind you, as soon as I saw the thing, I knew he was right. Saddest, most unfierce-looking mutt I've ever seen. She fell for him straight away. Love at first sight. For both of them.
What a capacity for recovery this weaker sex has. Mrs. Leslie looks as if spilling tea at the vicarage was the gravest trouble she'd ever known.
Only because she was drugged. He couldn't move her out to the abbey without giving her an FD dose. It kept her sane. In the same way, Pam's being hypnotised cushioned the shot for her, too. When did you realise what they'd done?
When your superintendent showed me the dossier on Belias. He was highly qualified professionally, and it included a list of his works. The one title stuck out. A Technique of Hypnotic Therapy. Oh, everything became obvious then. Post-hypnotic suggestion is hard, incontestable fact. It works, and certainly worked with Pam. She undid the bolts that night in the house and let the dog in. Afterwards, she closed them again.
Without knowing what she was doing?
Yes. A part of the suggestion is an order to forget what takes place.
And she was ordered to attend that shindig on Black Tor in the same way?
That's right. A nice example of Belias's delight in mischief.
I still sweat at nights when I think how lightly he might have escaped.
Yeah. One must thank the Providence that arranged so poetically just a solution.
Father! There's a small camel passed this way by any chance?
If you're referring to my dog, Jamie Hughes, I'd thank you to keep a civil tongue in your head.
Hey, get off, you daft acres. Go and sit on a rabbit.
Hey, come on, boy. Come on, you scruffy mutt, and bring the dog with you.
Right, you cheeky devil. Assault on the police coming up.
I feel very old, Father.
I understand there's a very exclusive home in this area which caters for just such a condition.
Under new management, I'm happy to say. He was on a good thing, wasn't he? They had to have money to be there at all. And then that very special welcome for those with no relatives. But a lucrative racket like that, looking back on it, it's easy to see him as just another murderer for profit. Is that all it was? Were all the trimmings just extra kicks?
Well, perhaps that's how it started, and certainly in daylight that's how it seems. But remember the night at the abbey? However it began, somewhere along the line he'd become a believer. Then it was all real. You saw his face that night. His arena of crime was no longer society. It was as wide as eternity.
Was he beyond redemption, Father?
Can one be? It occurs to me sometimes that the ones like him, who deliberately seek to be, who deliberately insult God,
are in the long run merely testifying to the power of God.
Father, there's something I think you ought to know.
I know a policeman who's bright enough to work out that if a dog is trained to kill, it's still a trained dog. And that if one man can handle it, so probably can another.
So you knew. And yet you allowed me to let them all believe it was a police dog. You can't approve.
No. But thank God I'm forbidden to judge and commanded to understand. I shall pray for you both. For you with affection, for him without warmth, I'm afraid, through duty. Because it's just possible that even for him a cry does not go unheeded. Oh, it's getting chilly. Shall we go down? It'll soon be dark.
But not as dark as it used to be.
No, Sergeant. Never as dark as it was.
That was the final episode of Roy Clarke's thriller serial. In The Events at Black Tor, Bob Grant played Father Probert, Brian Peck, Jamie, Juliet Cooke, Pam, and James Beck, the Sergeant. The theme music was composed by Trevor Holroyd, and production for the BBC was by Alan Ayckbourn.